Stand up, New York Giants fans. How's everybody doing tonight? How's Evan? How's Aaron? Dyer Giants fans in here. Brandon Rogers in here. Jawad's in here. Sports expert Cody Collins. Adam in the chat. Thank you to everybody for being here. Alex Sports Benjamin. Thank you to everybody for being here. Hope everybody's having a great night. Hope everybody's staying safe out there. And yeah, haven't been live, I think, since Saturday. Going to be doing another one of those probably. I think it was Sunday, actually. I'm going to be doing another one of those, I think, on Saturday, where I start having subscribers on the channel. Kind of like to do these two, because then I get to talk to you guys a lot more. When I do the, when I have people on, I don't really get to talk to the chat as much. So, figured I'd pop on, do one of these tonight, hang out with you guys for a little bit. First off, I just want to say thank you guys for your continued, continuing to watch my stuff, continue to support my channel, even when there's not a lot to talk about. I try my best. I try to come up with topics. Got a couple of video ideas I'll probably have out tomorrow. One's a broad NFL topic. The other going to be talking about Dalvin Tomlinson and Leonard Williams. Also want to say thank you to Harrison for the donation before I went live, as well as Benjamin. Thank you guys very much. Meant to say that. Today, did a video on Colin Kaepernick, which was nice to see, somebody from outside the New York fan base giving our guy Daniel Jones credit. So I wanted to talk about that. Seems like a lot of people were excited about that. And obviously the Jamal Adams trade rumors. The first team that popped in my head was the Dallas Cowboys. Now, of course, the Cowboys don't have a lot of cap space. So we'll see how that plays out. Obviously Eagles fans think it's going to happen. Maybe he just stays with the Jets. And maybe they trade him in season, or maybe they let him go at the end of the year for a comp pick. But we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But thank you guys for being here. What's going on, Rayo? What's going on, George? What's going on, Ryan Green, LR, MYG31? Thank you for being here. Prison Mike, thank you to everybody for being here. Meat, I always say your name wrong, but thank you so much for being here. Afghanistan, Rary, best subscribers on YouTube. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm close to 30K. I hit 26K this morning. When I woke up, I had 26K, so we're getting close. We're 4,000 away from 30K. Obviously, this is kind of the slow time, but hopefully we get sports up and running. Obviously, that remains to be seen, but, we try to get away from that right now. Just try to get away from things and just hang out, talk to you guys, answer your questions, and just have some fun, man. That's what this is about. Let's see what we got here. Get this guy a cannoli. What's up, Joey Lutz? Let's see. He trimmed the lettuce. Yeah, I did. I trimmed the lettuce. I finally was able to get a haircut. Somebody was asking me, I think it was Porzingis, KP. Somebody was asking me, did things start opening up? The barbershop opened up. And, I was able to get a haircut. I had to wait outside for about 20 minutes in my car because they won't let anybody into the barbershop, but I was able to finally get a haircut. Benjamin, man, thanks so much for love, man. I really appreciate it. What's up, Yuri, man? He says, Rosa's getting drunk at 8:30 a.m., hit and run. What the blank is he thinking? Who gets drunk that early? That's the time I got morning. That's the time I got morning wood. Yeah, the whole Rosa's thing to me, and yeah, I should have started with that. Obviously, that was yesterday or 2 days ago. I think it was yesterday. The Giants have just been a complete debacle this year off the field between him and DeAndre Baker. And obviously Baker, we're hoping, is innocent. And it's starting to trend that way, that he's not going to be. But just the fact that two Giants have been arrested this offseason when, there's not a lot going on. It's not the best situation so far this offseason for the Giants. But it's giving me stuff to cover. But I wish it was good news that I could share with you guys. Man, LA Gorilla, man, thanks so much for love, man. I appreciate it, man. What's up, Tom Lou, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. What's going on, One Click? LA Gorilla says, is Colin Kaepernick the most credible talking head in sports? I certainly think he is, even before his Daniel Jones comments, complete polar opposite of Stephen A-hole and Skip Bayless. To be completely honest with you, LA Gorilla, since I've been on YouTube, I don't really watch ESPN and Fox Sports. I mistakenly said he worked for ESPN, because to me, they're all just ESPN. That's what they are. But I will say, when I used to watch them a lot, I did like Coward probably the most. I think he speaks the most intelligently. And he seems to be pretty well thought out most of the time. I don't really watch most of them, though, because since I've been on YouTube, I just watch other YouTubers. That's where I get my news from. So it's kind of like our own community. So once in a blue moon, I'll flip on ESPN, but it's very rare. Very rare. Well, let's see what we got here. What's going on? Ryan Green says, suck up or Gostkowski? Ryan, I think it's pronounced Ryan Suck Up. I think it'll be Gostkowski if they go with a high-profile kicker. But who knows? The Giants could bring in a bunch of guys. They could bring in 8, 9, 10 kickers, in training camp and see how it plays out. But Gostkowski obviously has ties to Joe Judge. Joe Judge, former special teams coordinator in New England, to me it makes sense. Now, I don't get to watch Gostkowski week in, week out. Obviously, there's probably a reason why the Patriots let him go. I think he's 36, which isn't that, I mean, that's old, but it's not that old for a kicker. I mean, you look at Adam Vinatieri, he's like 50. So, I wouldn't mind. I think Gostkowski should be the front runner. I didn't get to see him kick it all last year, but the fact that he's had a lot of success throughout his career, he's got ties to Joe Judge. That's why I mentioned him in my video. I think he makes the most sense for the Giants. But like I said, I'm sure they're going to give a lot of guys looks. I don't want to see Cody Parkey. Keep Cody Parkey away from the Giants. I don't need double doinks. And we'll see what happens with Rosas, but I don't think he's going to be a Giant. Andrew Thomas, best tackle in the draft. I'm a big fan of Andrew Thomas. I was a big fan when the Giants drafted him. I didn't expect it to happen because all you heard was it's going to, Wirfs or Wills, Wirfs or Wills, Wirfs or Wills. That was the rumors all along. So it's why I didn't talk a lot about Andrew Thomas, because everything pointed to Wirfs and Wills. But I was always completely for Andrew Thomas. I think Andrew Thomas was the safest tackle in the draft. I liked Wills a lot from everything that I saw on film, everything that I heard from experts that analyze film. But Wills was a right tackle, never played the left side, even though he was the blindside protector for Tua. I thought Thomas was the safest choice, and I always wondered why Andrew Thomas was dropping. I always wondered, like in mock drafts, why he was dropping, and word came out after the draft that not just the Giants, but the Dolphins were considering trading up to get him. So I think a lot of teams thought higher than Andrew Thomas than what the so-called experts, with their mock drafts, seem to think. So I'm all aboard Andrew Thomas. I know I mentioned in my, I don't know if you guys watched it, but I know I mentioned in my training camp battle video that I think that'll be a battle for the tackle position, but it's more so where Andrew Thomas is going to play, whether it's going to be the right side or the left side. He's going to start, and I think it's going to be the left side. I just don't think he's going to have the job handed to him. But I'm really looking forward to Thomas. I think he's going to be a vital piece for this team for the next 10 to 15 years. I think it was the smart pick. Let's see what we got here. Prison Mike, man, thanks so much for love, man. I appreciate it. Roses dropped the soap. He will be loved in prison. Yeah, I think he. Well, I don't like to jump to conclusions. I learned my lesson with the DeAndre Baker thing, but from the evidence that's provided, in my opinion, he's going to be released by the Giants. I mean, supposedly he was going 100 miles an hour. He was drunk. He T-boned a car, and then he had blood all over him, and he ran off from the scene. So what does that tell you? I think Roses will not be a New York Giant next year. That's what it tells me, and I think the Giants are going to be in the market for a kicker. Let's see what we got here. Baker. Yeah, Yuri, I'm with you, man. Baker's not innocent. I didn't say he's not innocent, Tom Lou. I'm not talking about Baker. I'm talking about Rosas. Baker, I mean, whether he's innocent or not innocent, it seemed, whether he did it or not, at the end of the day, you have to be able to prove it. And hopefully he didn't do it. Hopefully he's completely innocent, and he might very well be. But even if he did it or he's guilty of some of the things that they insinuated, from all the things that I've read, there's no evidence. And if there's no evidence, you're innocent until proven guilty. So I don't expect I think DeAndre Baker will be released. I mean, not released by the Giants, but he won't be going to jail. And I know that unnamed source, I think that's his name on Twitter. He's the guy that kind of always breaks the stories about the Giants. Came out with a tweet today or yesterday, I think it was, saying that the Giants are going to cut Baker. I don't see it. If the Giants cut DeAndre Baker, if he was ruled innocent, they would get destroyed by the fan base and by the media. I don't see it. It's a PR nightmare. I don't think it'll happen. Drink that coffee now, Crimson says. What's up, Big Blue Record Crew? Thanks for popping in the stream. Jesse, you never got to apologize for being late. Thank you for being here. Thank you to everybody. I said it at the top of the show, but I want to continue to say it. Thank you to everybody. And next week, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I meant to do it today, and I just got caught up. But I'm going to announce it in one of my videos next week. I'm going to do a fitted hat giveaway. I said I was going to do more of those. I've just been so caught up with my videos. I want to start giving you guys at least a giveaway a month. I'm also going to have my members stream Monday. For any of my members who are in here, and I'm going to do a giveaway on that. But I'll have a fitted hat giveaway sometime next week, so be on the lookout for that. L.A. Lou, man, thanks so much for love, man. I really appreciate it. He says, Colin Kaepernick is a flip-flopper. He's intelligent, but I wouldn't say credible. He comes up with some Looney Tune theories, but at least he's not a homer. He's a thinker who sometimes overthinks. L.A. Lou, man, thanks so much for love. Yeah, I think that's a great way to describe him, to be completely honest with you, Lou. Yes, to me, when I used to listen to him a lot, when I used to go to ESPN, when I used to go to Fox Sports, he always seemed to be the guy that was the most intelligent. He was the most well thought out. Now, sometimes I agree with him, sometimes I didn't. But he is one of my favorite guys to actually listen to in the mainstream media. And I obviously I liked his take today because I pretty much agreed with all of it. You know, the one thing that I'll say that he didn't point out, if we're being completely fair about Daniel Jones, he didn't point out the fumbling problems. And most people that criticize him in his rookie year, that's what they'll point to. But I think that's very correctable. And I think Daniel Jones is going to correct it. But in terms of what he said from a positive aspect, I mean, there's not much more to say. I think there's a clear bias against Daniel Jones in the media. I really do. Let's see what we got here, man. Man, Louis, man, thanks so much for love, man. I really appreciate it. Louis the man. He was on the channel on Sunday. He did a great job. He was the subscriber on the channel on Sunday from the UK. Did a great job, man. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for doing a great job. He says, saw of it today saying that if Nick Foles wins another Super Bowl, that he has the same strength of case of being in the Hall of Fame as Eli. Thoughts? That is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. He can win 2 more Super Bowls now. Nick, okay. I don't know who wrote that article. I don't know who came up with that. Eli Manning, even though he may not have had superior regular seasons, Eli Manning is top 10 in 2 major statistical categories for his career. Passing yards and touchdowns. Nick Foles has been a journeyman backup quarterback throughout his entire career who had a magical Super Bowl run. And he had one great year in the Chip Kelly offense when he first started where he had like 119 QB rating or whatever it was. But Nick Foles has been a fringe backup quarterback his entire career. It's not even close. Him and Eli Manning are not even close. Eli Manning was an above-average quarterback his entire career. Was a starter for 15 years straight. Played the second most consecutive starts in the history of football. Not even close. It's not even close. Not to mention the 2 Super Bowls that Eli won are arguably the 2 greatest Super Bowls of all time. The way he was able to beat the undefeated Patriots, the method in which he had to do it, it's not even close. What's going on, Bigger Mike? Thanks for popping in the stream. What's up, Jay-Z? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Have you seen the news? Have I seen the news about what? TJ, I don't believe that, Luis. I don't believe that. How many fumbles will DJ have this year, Fabian says. I've seen Fabian commenting on my videos. Doesn't seem to be the biggest Daniel Jones fan. I get that. There's going to be some Giants fans that are, some Giants fans that aren't. Way too early to tell. You know, I definitely think it's going to be cut down. He's been working on it all offseason. And I'll say this. If he fumbles 18 times this year, Fabian, I'm going to be the first to get on him. That has to be corrected. It was the 5th most fumbles in the history of football, and he only had 12 starts. That has to get better. And I'll be the first to get on him if it doesn't. But I think it will. I think the Giants are going to commit to the run. And I don't. Yeah, I think he's just going to get better at holding on to the football. I think he'll be more comfortable in his second year. Is he going to fumble? Yeah, all quarterbacks fumble. But the offensive line I think will be better, which I think will help him as well. I'll say he cuts it in half. I'll say I have 8 or 9 fumbles this year, and he'll lose 5 or 6. That's what I'll say. What's going on, Jade Layton? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. No, Josh Gordon's not coming here. Josh Gordon's not coming here. People bring up Antonio Brown sometimes. They bring up Josh Gordon. Joe Judge is all about building a culture. He's about building team-first guys. They're not bringing in guys like Josh Gordon. They're not bringing in guys like Antonio Brown. And I know that Bill Belichick has been willing to do that with Chad Johnson, with Antonio Brown. But they already had a winning culture. They already established something. Joe Judge is still trying to establish that. Maybe down the line he starts to bring in guys like that. But right now, they would never even think about it. Stay off the wheat. What's up, Joey, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. Which kicker are we bringing in? Somebody used to ask me that. I mean, people mentioned Suckup. People mentioned Gostkowski. Who knows? It could be a guy from the XFL for all I know. But Gostkowski, to me, makes the most sense. It's why I mentioned him in my video. He's got ties to Judge. Judge was a special teams coordinator in New England. And the guy's been a really good kicker throughout his career. Now, does he still have it left in the tank? Well, that you got to ask yourself. Obviously, he probably didn't do too well with the Patriots last year. I don't watch him every week, but I would say he's the favorite right now if he's looking for a kicking job. He makes the most sense to me. L.A. Lou, man, thanks so much for love, man. I really appreciate it, man. He says the Rams have 3 good kickers in camp, the best from the CFL, the XFL, and a talented rookie. If the Giants pick up one after cuts, they'll be all right. Well, there you go. And that might be what they do too, L.A. Lou. And that happens all the time. Like, people are talking about the New York Giants roster right now. I did it for fun, just to go over the new guys that they've brought in via the draft, via the undrafted free agents. you usually fill out maybe 3, 4, 5 spots of your roster from guys that aren't even on your roster right now. There'll be teams like the Rams that cut somebody, and the Giants, because they don't fit their team, and the Giants will go out and they'll pick them up. It happened last year with a couple of players with the New York Giants. And I'm sure there's going to be a couple of guys, and maybe that's how they bring in their kicker. I think they'll have an open competition, similar to like what the Chicago Bears did when the Bears, with what's his name, Cody Parkey, when they got rid of him. I think they had like 8 or 9 kickers in camp, and they ended up picking the whichever one they felt was the best one. It may very well be that. It might be an open competition in training camp. I wouldn't be shocked. Let's see what we got here. Bring in Cristiano Ronaldo, a kicker. He'd probably cost way too much. Cristiano Ronaldo would probably cost way too much to be the kicker for the New York Giants, but I have no doubt he'd probably be very good. What's going on, Cheese, man? Cheese Whiz, I like that name. What's going on, man? Cody Core, for example, he started. Yeah, there you go. There's a perfect example. Cody Core was cut right before the season started. The Giants picked him up. David Mayo, I think, if I'm not I could be wrong, but I think David Mayo was another guy they picked up right before the season started. I could be wrong on that, though, but I don't think I am. I think that there was a couple of players that they did right before the season started. Eric Tomlinson, I believe, was another one. He didn't have an impact on the team, but I'm pretty sure he was another one. I think I remember making that video. What's going on, KP? What's up, Chris? I gave you a vid idea on your Discord. Also, sorry for being late. You never have to apologize for being late, and I'll definitely check it out after the stream. What is going on, Pestilence? If you got what's going on, Pestilence? He's got a channel over there, PTA Sports. He was on the channel. He did a great job. He did his first stream last night on his channel. I had a lot of fun hanging out in there, and I hope he continues to do that. That was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to working with Pest more in the future. And him and Bigger Mike got this thing going on right now. He says, "Shut up, Bigger Mike." What's up, my man? Nick the Wick, man. What's going on, my man? When's the next roundtable? Last one was fire. Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of in a wait-and-see approach right now, Nick the Wick, until we know we're going to have stuff to talk about. And I'm not trying to be negative. I'm trying to remain optimistic, and I still think we're going to have a season. But, you know, we're hearing the things we're hearing in the news. I'm kind of waiting for that. And once we get the go-ahead, probably around training camp is when I'll start doing that, and I'll do it much more regularly. Couple things I want to announce about the channel. Training camp's supposed to start July 28th, by the way. I think somebody asked that earlier. Hopefully that starts on time. A couple things I want to announce about the channel, if and when we have football this year. One thing I already got done that I'm going to do once a week. It's not going to be live. It's going to be pre-recorded. It's going to be about an hour every week. I'm not going to tell you the guys, the YouTubers yet, but I pretty much already organized it. I'm going to have a Redskin YouTuber, Cowboy YouTuber, Eagle YouTuber on every week for about an hour doing an NFC East podcast. We're going to do it starting probably right when training camp starts, like August 1st, once a week, every week. So that should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. Of course, I'm going to have a lot of live streams, Q&As. Going to continue to have those interactive streams with the subscribers coming on the channel. So, yeah, a lot of stuff in the works that I'm looking forward to this year. What's up, Trisha? Thanks for popping in the stream. Yeah, Tom. Yeah, I know, Bad Dog. I'm talking about a weekly podcast, not a live stream. A weekly podcast. I was working on this like a month ago, but I finally got it done. So hopefully we have a season because I think it'll be a really good podcast. The one thing all right, I'll give you guys a hint. Nobody from the podcast was on that stream last night. They're all different. There's your hint. Cody Collins, man, thanks so much for that, man. I appreciate it, man. He says, see the rumored COVID helmets and do fantasy, yo. I'm definitely doing fantasy, and I did not get a chance to see that, Cody. So they're gonna have different helmets based on the virus. I didn't get a chance to see that. I've read all the plans that they're talking about to try to isolate the players, and hopefully some of this works out. In terms of fantasy content, what's going on, Jay? Thanks for popping in the stream, my man. Thank you to everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I tried to do that last year, and it didn't really catch on. But being that it's kind of a really slow time, maybe I will do that. Maybe I'll do some. I don't know if I'll do live streams or actual videos. I'm definitely gonna have giveaways this year. I'm gonna have weekly pick'ems that I want to organize much better this year. I want to do a couple of things. So I'm definitely gonna have some giveaways this year, and I may do some fantasy content. I haven't decided yet. People have been asking me to do that though. PTA Sports, man, thanks so much for love, man. He says I also think Bigger Mike should shut up. And there's Best Channel, PTA Sports. Going over there and check him out. He's got a new logo and everything. And thanks so much for the love, man. He's a great guy. He's doing a great job over there, and really enjoyed that stream last night. Let's see what we got here. No, he's just messing with Bigger Mike. They got a thing going. He's just messing with him. Jamal Adams may be coming to the NFC East. When are we going to do a record prediction for the Giants? I already did, actually, but I'll probably do an updated one as the season gets closer. But I said 7-9. I did a video on that. It was like a month ago, but I already did. And I forgot what I was. Jamal Adams coming to the NFC East. You know, I read the article, and there's a number of teams. There's 7 teams that he listed. I said the Cowboys because he's been linked to the Cowboys for a while now. I know the Cowboys may not have the cap space, so maybe they'll have to figure something out if they want to bring him in. The 49ers makes a lot of sense. They definitely could use a safety, and the same for the Chiefs, the 2 teams that went to the Super Bowl last year. So I could see them. And there was a couple of other teams. So Seahawks, I think, were another one. So we'll see how it plays out, man. It'll be interesting to see if they do in fact trade him. Brandon, man, thanks so much for the love, man. I appreciate it, man. He says, stand up. Did you see Carter Coughlin was ranked 92.2 in Yes. The only reason I didn't do a video on that, I almost did. The only reason I didn't do a video on that was because when I did the Carter Coughlin, I did the videos for each player we drafted. I did one on Carter Coughlin, and I mentioned it in that video like 2 months ago. So that's the only reason why I didn't do a video on it. But the way they broke it down when I found it then it was based off of the 2018 season as a whole. That stat that came out basically showed the best over the last 4 years in the Big Ten, and he was ranked 3rd. But actually in 2018, he had a higher PFF grade than Chase Young. It's just that Chase Young had a higher PFF grade than his grade in 2018 and 2019, which is why he ranked higher on that list. But yeah, I think Carter Coughlin's going to do well with the Giants. I think they're going to carve out a niche for him. And I think the reason he fell is because he's kind of a scheme player. Kyle, man, thanks so much for the love, man. I appreciate it. He says, spoiler alert, Saquon comeback player of the year. You know, Kyle, I'm thinking bigger. I'm thinking bigger, man. I'm thinking MVP. I want to make the playoffs. I want Saquon to get the MVP. Because if the Giants go to the playoffs, Saquon's getting the MVP. Now, I'm honest with you guys. I'm not picking playoffs. But if we were to make it, I think Saquon would very much be in the discussion for the MVP. As far as the comeback player of the year award, it's usually going to go to a guy that was injured the year before. Probably be a quarterback that went down last year like Ben Roethlisberger. I'm sure there's a couple of others that I'm not thinking of at the top of my head. Phillip Rivers could be another one. He didn't get hurt, but he was bad. I would guess it'd probably go to a quarterback, but maybe. I mean, if Saquon went out there and had 2,400 scrimmage yards and he didn't win the MVP, maybe they would give it to him. Oh, man, thanks so much, man. Blue Collar with the love, man. I appreciate it. He says, hey, Entertainer, with modern technology, do you think quarterbacks should be able to call plays directly to helmet to eliminate the huddle and get more plays in? Okay, with modern technology, do you think quarterbacks should be able to call plays directly to the helmet to eliminate huddle? So you're basically saying you don't huddle. Oh, so you're saying, okay, I think I know what you're saying. So basically you're saying rather than the plays getting called from the offensive coordinator directly to the quarterback can relay the plays to the players on the team. Now, rather than huddling up, is that what you said? Now the thing is, okay, but here's the thing. If you were to do that, Blue Collar, and I get what you're saying, I guess it would save some time. You would risk, if you're not huddling up, I would think you'd risk the opposing defense hearing the plays. Not that they might be able to decipher it, but if they heard it every time, eventually they might be able to pick up on the play. So I think the huddle is just as much designed to be able to hide the play from the defense. So if you're out in the open at the line of scrimmage, now obviously you have the hurry up offense and things like that, but I would think that's why you have the huddle. Let's see what we got here. When Barkley's 100% healthy, he's a 2,500 yards from scrimmage MVP. I don't know, 2,500 is a lot, but I think if anybody could do it in the league, it's him. Sky's the limit for Saquon. You get this offensive line fixed, and Dan Jones gets better, sky's the limit. When is the live chat with Lord Brunson? Lord Brunson asked me to... What's up, Jayla? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Lord Brunson asked me to come on to the channel yesterday, but he had something come up. He said he got stuck at work. So I was going to go on his channel yesterday, but I'm sure I'll go on his channel soon. He's been asking me for a while, so I'll definitely be on his channel soon. True Rapless, man, thanks for the love, man. He says, how's it feeling being the best Giants channel on YouTube? Man, I I really appreciate that, True Rap List, man. You always come in here. You always show me a lot of love. You know what, man? I always say it, and it's the truth, man. I want this to feel like it's your channel just as much as it is mine. That's why I try to be as interactive as I can. I try to make videos that you guys want to hear. I've been slacking a little bit with that just because it's hard for me to come up with content. But, yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. I'm humbled by it, and I'm just going to keep working and trying to grow my channel more and more and more. You know, you guys, I say it all the time, you guys inspire me to work as hard as I do. So, I should be thanking you guys. Thank you guys for inspiring me to work as hard as I do. Recon Dog, man, thanks so much for love, man. I appreciate it. He says, keep up the great work. If possible, I'd love to come on your channel someday. Keep killing it. Recon Dog, I know you're a member, I'm pretty sure. I'm doing a member stream on Monday. So, all the members are going to be able to come on. I'm setting that up so you can come on via video. But on Saturday, I'm also going to open it up to the public. Now, I want to have, I forgot who did it. Dougly Duro. Great Dolphins channel. I was in there the other day. He does it where he has the guest on, but he kind of alternates them every like 10 minutes. He has like 4 or 5 people in, and that's probably what I want to do. I want to start organizing and have 4 or 5 guests on to start if I can get that many. You know, sometimes you're not going to have that many people that want to come on, but and then give everybody an opportunity. Let people be in there for about a half hour in the group discussion, but every 10 minutes, kind of circle somebody out, get a new guy in, so that way I get at least 9, 10 people on if they want to come on via the video chat. Gives you guys something to do. So that was one of my favorite streams I've done. So I highly suggest you guys checking it out next time. It was a lot of fun. It gives you guys the ability to, you know, have your voice on the channel, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Anthony, man, thanks so much for love, man. And he's got a great channel over there, Fireside Giants, man. Thanks for popping in the stream, man. He says, thanks for stopping by the stream tonight. Thoughts on the new COVID helmets posted by State? Yeah, I haven't even got an opportunity. Somebody else just mentioned that to me. I haven't even got an opportunity to check it out. I don't even know the alterations that they made to it. He says they look like they're from Star Wars. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. And I'm curious. Yeah, I got to do some research because I'm curious to see how it's going to, I guess, keep the players safe. I'm interested in checking that out. I didn't even hear about it, Anthony, but I'm definitely going to check it out after the stream. Oh, Brandon, man, thanks so much for love, man. I appreciate it. I feel they should push the season back a month or 2. I'm worried that coronavirus might affect the NFL during the season. They might end up doing that, Brandon. I read an article. Let me drink some coffee. I always do this. It gets cold. Hold on. I read an article that they constructed the schedule the way that they did, basically anticipating that they may have to push it back. So basically every team in the league plays 2 home games and 2 road games for their first 4 games. That never happens. You know, think back to other years. The Giants will have 3 road games, 1 home, vice versa. It's organized so every team has 2 and 2. So they've organized it so they could push it back a month, play 12 games, and every team has 6 and 6. So they've put in, you know, I guess, you know, things into the schedule that's going to allow them to change it if need be. And that's obviously a very real possibility, and hopefully it's not the case. You know, I think we're all hoping that things get back to normal, but the most important thing, like I said in my video, I think we all care about the players' health. I don't think we want to see people getting sick, so hopefully that's the case, man, because I don't know what the hell I'm going to talk about. Plus, I'm a huge Giants fan, obviously, but we'll just we'll continue to make it work, though, man. That's what this channel's about. So, but thanks so much for love, man. I appreciate it. And Benjamin with the $5 donation, I appreciate it. He says, I don't understand Philly 500's foot fetish. Personally, I'm a boob and butt type guy. Philly 500, yeah, he was a big fan of Bad Dog's feet. I never got that. Never got that. But Philly 500 is a dingbat. You know that. I love him, though. W. Climber, man, thanks so much for love, man. Can a case be made that the great coaching with average players is better than great players with average coaching? Patch first, but that is so funny you bring that up. I was on the phone last night with somebody, and I brought up that exact topic. I was talking about, and I actually thought about making a video on this. I was talking about the other sports and how in football, the coach is so much more important than any other sport. You look at basketball. The most talented team, if they have, any coach could pretty much coach the most talented team, and they're going to be title contenders. You look at baseball. The manager definitely influences the sport, I think more so in the National League because there's double switches, there's more strategy with the pitcher, but it doesn't influence it near like it does in the NFL. And I always say it. I think the most important person on a football team is the head coach. Bill Belichick, I mean, how often did he have the most talented team in the league? Never, really. I mean, maybe once. But he always got by far the most out of the talent that he had. Last year, the Browns had more talent than the Patriots did. The Cowboys had more talent than the Patriots did. Coaching's more important in football. I don't even think it's close. But thanks so much for love. I appreciate it. Kyle with the $2 donation. I appreciate it. He says, how does it feel to be the Ron Burgundy Ow now brown cow? I can't do it like Will Ferrell, but ow now brown cow. The arsonist had oddly shaped feet. Thank you so much for love, man. I appreciate it. LA Lou, man. Thanks so much for love, man. He says, on the old NFL, the quarterback used to call the plays Namath, Unitas, Tarkenton, Bradshaw, etc. They were the play caller. That started changing with the invent of the West Coast offense thereabouts. Yeah, back in the day, before technology, they used to do that, but they did it in the huddle. You know, they didn't do it at the line of scrimmage, but yeah, they did it. But yeah, the quarterback, and Peyton Manning, I'm pretty sure, used to call his plays even in the modern day. He was basically the offensive coordinator. But yeah, it's a different game than it used to be, no doubt about it. No doubt about it, both on offense and defense. Adam, man, thanks so much for love, man. I appreciate it, man. He says, hey, man, I'd love to be on your channel. I'm 14 and would love to talk some Giants football. Sent you a message on Instagram. Adam, man, definitely. I'm going to... Matter of fact, here's what I'm going to do, guys. I am going to go live sometime this week. It's probably going to be unannounced, but I'll do it on a night. I'm going to go live on Instagram, and I will probably explain how we're going to do it. You know, I want to try to figure out a fair way to get 3 or 4 people, the original panel, on every week. I want it to be new people, and then shuffle people in throughout the stream. So I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I got to figure it out. That's something that I definitely want to start working on, because after that stream, I've had a number of people ask me to come on. So I'm looking forward to it, man. It's definitely something to do on the channel. It kind of replaces the Colin show. It's a lot more organized. You don't got to deal with the prank calls. So I had a lot of fun doing it. Let's see what we got here. What's up, Joe Queen? Jock Queen, thanks for popping in the stream, man. I thought I just saw a sticker on a forehead. Sticker on a forehead? I don't know what that means. Hi, please. Maybe that was a joke. Can you have sports talk with Broads on the channel? He's in. Yes, I've seen him, Kevin Cronin. I've seen him, Kevin Cronin. I would have him on. I've never talked to him, but I've watched his channel. He's pretty good. I would like to work with him. What's up, Moose? Thanks for popping in the stream. What's up, History Guy? What's up, Moose? Could you make a video on potential 2021 draft picks for the Giants? Yeah, Mike, I was going to do that earlier, and then I said to myself, it's kind of pointless to do that right now. I'm kind of in a wait-and-see approach, because college, I mean, I could do it, but it's kind of pointless content right now, because you don't know what we're going to need at the end of the year, and you don't know how the players in college are going to perform. I mean, I could talk about Chase. I could talk about those guys, but I'll probably save that. I'll probably do that in season. I'll probably do that like mid-season. I'll start integrating the college stuff, talking about potential draft prospects. And obviously, hopefully, we're still talking about important football games. Hopefully, the Giants are competitive all year. But I'll probably do that earlier this year. I kind of waited till the end of the regular season last year. I'll probably start to bring in, you know, the potential draft picks like midway through the year. I'm going to follow college football a lot more closely this year. And I'll definitely be doing some of that stuff for sure. But I just don't think it's valuable right now. Because, I mean, I could talk about it, but we don't know what the Giants are going to need. What if Darius Slayton goes out there has 1,300 yards this year? Or what if, we don't know what the players on our team are going to do. What if O'Shane Ximines becomes a guy that gets 16 sacks this year? And then all of a sudden we don't need an edge rusher. So it's kind of hard to, I guess, predict where we're going to go. But if you ask me right now, I would say edge rusher, wide receiver, or linebacker in the first round. I think that's the most obvious of the 3 needs that we have that would be early first-round picks. Let's see what we got here. Anyone seen or heard about the Giants' offensive line as a whole, what these workouts have been? I know Daniel Jones has set up throwing sessions with wide receivers, but have the offensive lines gotten together? I have not heard anything about that, Elvis. And if I do, I'll definitely post it on the channel. All I've seen John Halapio. He's been working out a lot. He sucks, though. I want him I don't want him anywhere near the New York Giants. I've seen the Instagram videos of Andrew Thomas working out. But as a unit, no. I've not seen anything like that. I saw the Instagram video of Saquon Barkley and Sam Darnold working out, which was kind of weird. Yeah. It's white coffee. No, it is. It's regular coffee. Let's see what we got here. Can you reach out to him and let me know what he says? I will reach out to him for you, just for you. There is always a need for offensive and defense. Of course. That's what I love about Dave Gettleman. Dave Gettleman's all about building in the trenches, getting the hogs. And, that's another thing I was thinking about the other day is the New York Giants have built this team around two things over the last couple of years. They've built this team around the trenches, around the hogs on both sides of the ball. They've got a ton of defensive tackles, interior linemen, and they've built up the offensive line. Will Hernandez was more or less a late first-round pick, early second. He was early second, but 34th overall. Andrew Thomas, 4th overall. So they've definitely built up both lines, and they've built speed. You go back to that article where the New York Giants have the fastest 11-man personnel in football at the skill positions, the running back, wide receiver, tight end, in terms of 40 time. And the defense they've built around speed. Darnay Holmes is fast. McKinney's pretty fast. So they're building around speed and beefing up the trenches, which I think is a good idea in today's NFL. What's up, Daniel, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Oh, John, man, I appreciate that, man. What's up, Daniel Barry? No, Martinez is not fast. Not everybody's fast. Martinez is not fast. You think Gannon's injury versus the Ravens in the 2000 AFC Championship game cost us a Super Bowl? What if he doesn't get hurt? I think we beat the Raiders in Super Bowl 35. That's a great question. Rich Gannon, and I don't remember if he was great that year, but Rich, I think he was, because I think when did they go to the Super Bowl, the Raiders with Gannon? Was it 01? 02? It was around there. So he was good then. But, yeah, I mean, we might have won. We definitely might have won. I can't remember how good that Raiders team was. Obviously, the Ravens had a ridiculous defense, and it was a horrible matchup for the Giants. And they were kind of that hot team. Matter of fact, that Ravens team was the first wild card team to win a Super Bowl since, like, the 83 or 84 Raiders. I think they were a 5 seed that year. They went 11-5, but it was the greatest defense I've ever seen. So, I think we definitely would have had a better chance against the Raiders. But I honestly can't even remember that Ravens-Raiders game that well. I can't even remember it that well, whether or not I thought that they would have won if Gannon would have stayed in the game. The Ravens' defense was ridiculous. They gave up like 10 points a game that year. They were insane. New York for life, man. What's going on, man? Thanks for popping on the stream. I told my girl to beef up the trenches, and now she can't leave the kitchen. What's up, New York for life? Good to see you, man. Hope you brought the hummus. Can you get into some overtime and go till midnight? I don't know about that. We'll see how the stream goes. I don't think I'm going till midnight, but we'll see how the stream goes. Tana, how many Cowboys fans does it take to change a light bulb? None. They are happy living in New York shadows. There you go. I like that. Oh, man, Argenis, man, thanks so much, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. He says, what's up, Tana? I'm literally listening to you while I'm in the shower. I got a visual now. Argenis is a male. I can see him in the picture, but I'm picturing you as a Instagram model, a really hot Instagram chick. That's what I'm picturing you as, but I'm going to keep reading. And can you believe the Danny hate by NFL.com? Colin Cowherd defending Daniel Jones is refreshing. Colin Cowherd's really the first guy in the mainstream media that has really come out and definitively stepped up to the plate and defended Daniel Jones. I'm sure there's maybe a guy or two, but it was definitely refreshing to hear him say that. I mean, everybody on ESPN, everybody on Fox Sports has been tearing him to shreds any chance they've gotten, and he really backed him up. It sounded like he was a Giants fan. I loved hearing it. What's going on, Irish New York Sports? Let's see what we got here. Your thoughts on what position Andrew Thomas should be playing? He's got to play left tackle. You know, I talked about it in the video when I was talking about training camp battles because I do think it'll be a storyline. I think they're going to make Andrew Thomas earn his spot on the offensive line at the left side. He's got to be the left tackle. You drafted him 4th overall. He's the left tackle of the future. You got to get him and Will Hernandez used to playing with each other. I'm hoping he's a left tackle. I want to see Solder moved over to the right. And if Solder doesn't work out, we got 3 guys that could step in. So I think Andrew Thomas got to be the left tackle. Q-Dog. What's going on? Yeah, Q-Dog. I saw the pictures, man. I got Q-Dog a Daniel Jones jersey for his birthday, so got to see that. I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. Let's see what we got here. What's your prediction on the NFC East standings this season? Oh, man. You know, I know you want me to say Giants. Giants. But I'm going to go Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are going to win the division. I'll go Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, Redskins. Yeah, Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, Redskins. But maybe the Giants surprise people. It's football. Anything could happen. My broad NFL video that I'm going to have up tomorrow, I already filmed it. I just thought it was a cool topic. A lot of you guys may not. I think it was a cool topic. I did a video on, if you go back and look at the course of history, I'm trying to give Giants fans hope as well as myself. If you go back and look at the course of history from 2016 to 2019, there's been 2 teams that were picking in the top 10 that have made the playoffs in each of those 4 years. So I did a video talking about the 10 teams that picked in the top 10 this year and which teams I feel like have the best opportunity to make the playoffs. So it's kind of a broad NFL video that involves the Giants. So that'll be up tomorrow. I filmed it today, and then I did the videos that I did. So I pushed it back till tomorrow. Super Bowl predictions, Gino says. Super Bowl predictions. I am going to go. I think the Chiefs get back. I think the Chiefs are too good. You got the best head coach, the best quarterback in football. It's a great combination. I got to go Chiefs in the AFC. And in the NFC, I was going Saints. I kind of worry about the chemistry there with everything that went on. We'll see. I still think they're the best team in the NFC. I love the offensive line. And I like the storyline of Drew Brees getting a championship in his last year, but then he did what he did. I don't know how the team's going to respond to that in season. The NFC's tough. The NFC's tough. I kind of want to go Seahawks, but I haven't decided yet. I really haven't decided yet. But right now, I'm actually leaning Seahawks, and if Brandon Rodgers is in here, I know he's going to love hearing that. But I'm actually, right now, today, I'm leaning Seahawks, Chiefs. Harrison, man, thanks so much for love, man. I really appreciate it. He says, your custom Giant shirt is officially on the way, man. So pumped for the subscriber stream. Much love, brother. Man, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. You didn't have to do that. But as soon as I get it, I'll definitely wear it on stream for you. And I'll definitely shout you out. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Jamal Adams to the Cowboys. I hope not. I really hope not. But when I first heard it, and that's without me doing any research in terms of the financials. And then I went and I looked. The Cowboys only have, I think it's about $35 million in cap space next year, and that doesn't include Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, of course, was franchise tagged, and I don't even think he signed the tag yet, but now you could always restructure salaries and figure things out, but they don't have a lot of cap space, but the Cowboys make a lot of sense. He's been rumored to the Cowboys for a really long time, and we'll see if that's the case. You grew up a Cowboys fan. I hope he doesn't go there, but the one silver lining I have, if he does go there, like I said in the video, if they overpay, I'm okay with that. If they give up 2 first-round picks, okay. They're ruining their future, but hopefully he doesn't go there. I don't want the Cowboys to get any better. Colin Coward says some crazy things. Sabrina says, yes, he does. You think Engram and Shepard stay healthy? Do I think Engram and Shepard stay healthy? I mean, conventional wisdom would tell you no. Ingram's missed 14 games in 3 years. Shepard's had, I don't know how many concussions since he's been in the league. I hope, and here's what I'll say. If they stay healthy, I've said it time and time again, if their weapons stay relatively healthy this year, I think we're going to have a top 10 offense, or very close. I think we're going to have a very good offense if they could remain healthy, but can they? And they've yet to prove that. So hopefully we get lucky and we get a year with health, and maybe we prove some people wrong this year. But recent history would tell you they probably won't, but hopefully they do. Argenis, man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. He says, will we get a 4-way collab with other YouTubers like what Bad Dog did a few nights ago? Argenis, yes. Well, first off, I'm having subscribers on. I don't know if you saw that last week. I'm doing that Saturday. That's going to be a permanent thing on the channel throughout, always. I want to try to do that once a week. I just think that's so cool to get to talk to you guys. It's not going to be live, but I said it earlier in the stream. I'm going to be doing a podcast. I've been thinking about doing this for like 2 months. And I organized it all. I'm going to be doing I don't know, probably be an hour a week. I'm going to be doing a podcast, probably starting at the beginning of August, with a Cowboy, Eagle, and Redskin YouTuber. It's not going to be live. Maybe I'll premiere it, just so there's like a live chat. Maybe that'll make it more fun. But I just feel like it's a better product. It's a better listen if it's not live. I love you guys. But I just feel like it's better conversation when you just get to talk to one another. So I'm really looking forward to putting that out. It's something that I've been wanting to do for like a year, adding that to the channel. So I am doing that. I am doing that this year. Benjamin, man, thanks so much for love, man. He says, all right, Chris, I have to leave early. Need my girl to take care of my evening. Stay safe. Benjamin, you do that. That's a lot more important. Thank you for tuning in the stream, man, and enjoy your night. Blue Collar says, Tana, #1 Giant show. Now I have to create an Instagram to make sure I don't miss any content. I think Holmes, gem of the draft, but starting to hear it might be Parrot. Definitely create an Instagram. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to be doing surprise live streams here and there, just to do something different. I actually really like the Instagram live streams because people can actually post the questions. I pull them up. It's pretty cool. So hopefully I see you over there. And in terms of this year, I don't think Parrot has much of an impact. If he does play, I think it'll be the last 4 or 5 games. But I think both of those guys could be huge impact players for the New York Giants in the future. The one thing I loved about the Giants in this draft was they went BPA. They did. They absolutely did. They took who they thought was the best player on their board. They didn't go for need. Wide receiver, they could have won in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. They didn't do that. They said Parrot is too good to pass up here. Darnay Holmes is too good to pass up here. Shane Lemieux is too good to pass up here. They took the best player on their board, and I love that philosophy, especially late in the draft. Because more often than not, late in the draft, those guys, maybe we get spoiled. We think everybody's going to be Darius Slayton. Doesn't usually work that way. Usually when you're picking a guy in the 4th, 5th round, they're not going to have an immediate impact. They're more guys you stash on your roster for depth who you hope eventually become starters. So I think the Giants viewed it that way. They said, we're a team that's still kind of building. We want to get as much good talent as we can. And they went for BPA, and I love both those players. I think both of them could really break out for the Giants in the future. But thanks for love, man. I appreciate it. L.A. Lou, he says, Cody Collins had a good joke. What's the difference between the Cowboys and a dollar bill? You can always get 4 quarters. Yeah, that is a good one. That is a good one. I like that. I'm going to steal that one, Cody Collins. That's a good one. I like that. You could say that for a lot of teams. You could say that for the Jets. You could say that for a lot of teams. James Kent, man, he said, $2 donation. He says, why not Kaepernick as a backup? Am I Jewish? I am not. I'm half Italian. I'm Irish. I'm German. I'm Scottish. I'm Norwegian. I'm a little bit of Spanish. I'm mainly Italian, and I'm a mix of all those other things. The second thing I'm the most of is Irish. What's up? What's up, Lake Nona, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. What was the? I was just about to answer a question. Oh, Kaepernick. Okay, yeah, you asked why not Kaepernick as a backup. Listen, I want Kaepernick to get a job. I'll be the first to tell you, I think he was blackballed from the start, and I'm all for him getting a job. The reason I don't think the New York Giants make sense, and I do think there are teams out there, if he proves he can play at a high level, and hopefully he can. He's been out of the league now for, 3-4 years, but the Giants to me don't make sense. I'm going to tell you why. You've got a young quarterback with Daniel Jones. It's the same thing with the Jets. The Jets made the same mistake with Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez sucked. But you've got a young quarterback with Daniel Jones. And you and I both know, and everybody in this chat knows, first off, Daniel Jones is learning a new system that I don't even think Colin Kaepernick necessarily fits that well. But Daniel Jones is learning a new system. He's playing 4 very good defenses early on in the year. So if Daniel Jones struggles his first 2 or 3 weeks, people are going to be calling to start Colin Kaepernick. That's something you don't want with your young quarterback that you're trying to develop. I just don't view Colin Kaepernick as a good fit for the New York Giants. I saw an article that said that they were. I don't see it. You got a young quarterback that you're trying to develop. There's no need to add more pressure. That's why I didn't make a video on it. But I do think that there are places out there, if he could prove he could play, makes sense. The Chargers were brought up. I think they make sense. There was a couple of other teams where I said I could see that, but the Giants just don't make sense to me. I don't see it. What's going on, MH, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. Owen says, birthday cannoli vibes. Thanks for being here. What's up, Timmy Times? Yeah, he'd be a distraction. For the situation the Giants have, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Where do you think Evan Engram ranks among tight ends in the league? Okay. Where do I think Evan Engram ranks among tight ends in the league? I mean, as an all-around tight end, he's not in the top 5 because the guy can't block. As a pass catcher, when he's on the field, he's in the top 5. Kittle's above him. Ertz is probably above him. He's probably in the top 5, though, in terms of a weapon. But the issue with Engram is the guy, he's got to stay healthy. But when he's between the lines and he's healthy, yeah, he's great in terms of getting open. His hands sometimes lack. He drops balls that he shouldn't, and his durability. But he's definitely one of the better weapons at the position. He's probably top 5. Harrison, man, thanks for the love, man. He says, who else is coming on the substream on Saturday, bro? I haven't decided. I've had a number of people that have asked me, Harrison, what I'm going to do this week, and I'm going to have similar to what I did last week. Probably have 3 or 4 people to start, introduce them. I'll make it a little quicker, 5-10 minutes apiece, then bring them on as a group, and then I'm going to slowly bring other people on that may want to come on. So every 20 minutes, 30 minutes, one of those people drop out. I bring a new person on. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm definitely going to have you on as I want to try to have a foreign guest on every week. Last year I had a guy from the UK. This week I want to have you. So I just think it's cool to be able to talk to a foreign Giants fan. I think that's awesome. So I definitely want to do that once a week. Have somebody from another country because I have so many subscribers. You're from New Zealand. I got subscribers from England, UK, all over the globe. So I just think that'd be really cool to do that. So I'm going to do that every week, or at least try to have a new guy. But yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing this week. Would you give up a first-round pick for Yannick Yannick? Would I give up a first-round pick for Yannick Yannick? No. The New York Giants are in rebuild mode. No, definitely not. We can't be giving up first-round pick. First off, what if the New York Giants this year, and I'm not trying to be negative, but what if things don't fall into place and we win 4 games again and we're picking 3rd in the draft? You essentially just gave up the 3rd pick overall for Yannick Yannick. No, I would not. No. If anything, I'd wait till he becomes a free agent. I'd try to sign him next year. But I do think the Jaguars are going to end up trading him. That's another rumor I heard, that the Jaguars and Jets, potentially a Yannick for Adams swap. That would be interesting. But if I'm a Jets fan, I'd rather have draft picks. Let's see what we got here. Sup, Tainer? Sorry I'm late. Are you kidding me? Thanks for popping in, BK. Feel like Benjamin Victor is going to be a steal like Victor Cruz was. I like Benjamin Victor. I'm not going to go as far to say Victor Cruz. Victor Cruz had the greatest season in the history of New York Giants football for a wide receiver. But I like Benjamin Victor. Of all the wide receivers, my 2 favorites to carve out a role this year, like a significant role of the undrafted guys, are the guy we had last year, Sills, and Victor. I think one of those 2 guys has the best chance to have a decent role with the New York Giants this year. But yeah, I've pegged Victor as my favorite from the start. I think he fits the needs that the New York Giants have at that position. Derek Dillon could make the team and maybe has an impact at special teams. He's very fast. Maybe you could use him on trick plays, things like that. It'll be interesting to see how they integrate him if he makes the team. But I'm with you. I like Victor the most. And LA Lou, man, thanks so much for the love, man. He says, all right, guys, I'm out before I go broke. LA Lou, man, you have a great night, man. Get some sleep. I know you work a weird shift, so thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And looking forward to talking to you in the future, man. Great subscriber of mine. What's going on, Simon? Thanks for popping in the stream. Yeah, David Sills was he was a highly recruited quarterback. And then I think he had 2 10-touchdown seasons in a row at West Virginia. Tall threat. I think he has a chance to make the team. What's going on, Chris Leon? What's going on, Chill Daddy? Entertainer, can you upload the videos you made when you started YouTube to your YouTube channel? Oh, maybe once in a blue moon I'll release one here and there. Massachusetts loves you. I love Massachusetts, Nicky. Thank you for popping in the stream. Another great subscriber of mine. You're always in my streams. Thank you for being here. Too bad the Giants can't beat the Sheik. Oh, God. Don't even get me started, Great Wuda. Don't even get me started. You're going to get me depressed on stream. You don't want to see me cry on stream. We haven't beaten those teams. I'm 34 years old. I feel like we haven't beaten those teams in 33 years. It feels like it's that long. Especially the Eagles. Because we always lose to them in excruciating fashion. The pain. We have them on the ropes and we can't finish it. Hopefully this year we knock them out at least once each. That's what I'm hoping. We get a split. Give me a split with both those teams. Good evening, Chris. Greetings from Belgium. Who do you think is our number 1 and number 2 wide receivers? What's up, Alphabet? Thanks for popping in. Afghanistan in the chat. What's up, Spencer? Thanks for popping in the stream. Will Clowney get signed? Not by the Giants, but he's going to get signed somewhere. And there's another foreign subscriber, Belgium. That's awesome. Number 1 and number 2 wide receivers right now. I mean, going in, it might technically still be Tate and Shepard going in, but I really don't feel like we have a 1. I just feel like we got 3 2s. And I think they're all going to be used in different ways. Shepard is going to be used mainly in the slot. They'll probably move Tate on the outside, move him on the inside as well. And obviously Slayton will be used on the outside as a deep threat. I think people are sleeping on Tate a little bit. Now I'm not saying I love Tate. But I think Tate gets a little more hate than he deserves. One, because he failed a drug test. He missed 4 games. 2, because he was the guy that replaced, Odell Beckham. And 3, because the Giants gave him a contract that most people didn't agree with. But Golden Tate is still a pretty good wide receiver. Golden Tate last year had 700 yards almost in 12 games. He had 6 touchdowns. And he was pretty productive when he got the opportunity. So I still think Golden Tate's a pretty good wide receiver. I think I'll have a pretty good year for the Giants this year. I like the Giants receivers if they can stay healthy. It's the depth that I worry about. Harrison, man, thanks for the love. I appreciate it. He says, sounds awesome, my man. Got to go pick up my bro from school, but keep up the great work. Last question. Does DJ have a career-high game this year? I mean, it's going to be tough to have a career-high game. He threw 5 touchdowns against the Redskins last year. 5 touchdown games don't grow on trees, Harrison. It's going to be tough to top that, but maybe, we'll see. Hopefully he has a 6 touchdown game. That'd be great. But I think that Daniel Jones definitely has a strong year this year. May struggle a little bit in the beginning, but I think he has a strong year this year. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw. I don't do it as much because I'm using my phone for a lot of videos. People always ask me what's my Twitter and Instagram. It's right above my head. If anybody wants to follow me, you can follow me on both of those. But thank you guys for being here. Favorite NFL stadium? I've actually only been to 2. Eric asked me a question. Chris, what do you think of the Jamal Adams thing for the guys joining the stream? I'm just praying. Yeah, I mentioned the Cowboys in my video, and I hope it's not the Cowboys. I don't think it'll be the Eagles. The Eagles have no cap space. They have negative $51 million in cap space next year. I don't think it'll be the Eagles. But who knows? The Eagles are crazy. As far as my favorite NFL stadiums, I've only been to 2. I've been to FedEx Field, the Redskins, and I've been obviously to MetLife and the old Meadowlands. So technically 3. I gotta go with MetLife. Although I don't really like MetLife. I don't really like the way it looks on the outside. It kind of looks like a spaceship. I was kind of disappointed when they built it. But, yeah, I've been to a lot of baseball stadiums. I've been to 12 baseball stadiums. But I've only been to 2 football stadiums. Let's see what we got here. Favorite Seattle Mariners player currently? That is a random question. I don't have many players that I like on the Mariners, so that's a random question. My favorite Mariner ever is probably I liked Edgar Martinez a lot. Ken Griffey Jr. That was the most random question I've ever gotten. Why does Haskins stink so bad? Why does Haskins stink so bad? Well, I'm going to give you a few reasons why I think Haskins has struggled so far in the NFL. One, he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. He only played 12 starts, 13 starts in college, and we all know the only reason why he came out was for money. He knew that the next year he wasn't going to go nearly as high as he did in the 2019 draft had he waited till 2020. He saw the Tuas of the world. You know, it was a much better quarterback class. Herbert, Tua, so on and so forth. Fromm was even thought to be a really high prospect. So he came out because of that. He wasn't ready. They threw him into the fire, I think, a little too early. And they don't have a good support system there. Let's be real. I mean, McLaurin's a good wide receiver, but they don't have that good of an offensive line. They don't have any good weapons outside of McLaurin. So I don't think that they've set him up for success. And I don't think it was the best decision for him to come out when he did. I think he should have waited another year. Of course, it would have cost him money. But that's why I think he's been struggling. Jay Gruden hated it. Yes, he did. Why is Jones so good? Why is Jones so good? Because he's a New York Giant. I don't know what to tell you. Because he works hard. He's a hard worker. He's been working hard this offseason, and he's smart. Yeah, he wasn't ready. I agree. Yeah, he should have stayed in Ohio State. Do you think that Xavier McKinney will make the Pro Bowl next year, or even an All-Pro ever? I think he has potential. I mean, I definitely think he has potential. You know, I haven't even seen the guy play yet, but the guy was regarded as a mid-first round talent for a reason. The Giants got a steal, by all accounts, where they got him. So, could he be? Absolutely. He was the first safety taken in the draft. So, usually, if you're the first... Here's what I'll say. When you're the first player taken at your position in a draft, the expectation should be that you'll be a Pro Bowler. And that's why I'm so excited about this secondary if DeAndre Baker gets off. But if you look at the New York Giants the last couple of years, they've taken the first corner in the draft. They've taken the first safety in the draft. They've taken the first slot corner in the draft. They've really, they spent the second highest paid corner in free agency this year. They've really allocated a lot of resources to that secondary. So I'm really excited to see the improvements this year and in the future. I think we're overhyping McKinney. I think it's too early. I think that it's too early. We got to see what he does. But I do think he'll be a good player for the Giants. Let's see what we got. Who do you think is the best player on the Giants besides Saquon Barkley? I was going to say, before I saw the end of that question, it's clearly Saquon Barkley. Besides Saquon Barkley, who's the best player on the Giants? That's a tough question. A lot of people might say Daniel Jones, but it's too early. The guy's only had 12 starts. You could argue Zeitler. Zeitler's a good guard, very good guard. On the offensive end, I would guess that right now, Zeitler's probably second. Obviously, we both think that Andrew Thomas is going to be up there, but it's too early. We haven't seen him play yet. And on defense, in terms of guys that have proven themselves, I mean, they're all very young. I might go Zeitler. I might go Zeitler as the second best player on the team right now. Now, do I think that'll be the case at the end of the year? Probably not. But if you ask me right now, I might go Zeitler. Cody, man, thanks so much for the love. I appreciate it. He says, heard Ron Effect likes taters in his... Interesting. Interesting. Dalvin Tomlinson's another one that it could be. Yeah, Brad, you know what? Bradbury. Good call. I would say Zeitler and Bradbury. Probably Bradbury. I was thinking about the young kids. I'd probably have Bradbury at 2, Zeitler at 3, right now. Good call with Bradbury. I like Tomlinson a lot. Let's see what we got. All right, Chris, I'm going to head out. Thanks, by the way, for pinning my comment. That was a great comment, Gerard. I was dying of laughter when I saw that comment. That's one of the best comments I've gotten. Fries or taters with my burger? I go fries, man. I like the curly fries. I like the waffle fries. I go fries. I don't like the mushy fries. I'm not a big mushy fry guy. I don't like the Nathan's fries. I'm not a big fan of the Nathan's fries, but I like the curly fries, the waffle fries. Please thumbs up Afghanistan, man. One of my best. I really appreciate that. What's my favorite food? Steak. Give me a good steak. Medium rare. Bleeding Giant Blue in Eagle territory. Thank you so much for that, man. What are your NFC East defense predictions? Okay. This is another thing that people have asked me to do, and I'm probably going to do it. I'm probably going to rank each team in terms of, best quarterback in the division, best running back, so on and so forth. So I'm probably going to do a video doing that. Not the overall defense, but, units. Best defensive line, best linebacking core, best secondary. But in terms of overall defense, if I'm being honest right now, do I think maybe it'll be different by year's end? But going in, the Giants last year had the 30 or 31st ranked defense. It's hard for me to say they're not 4th. It just is. I'm yet to see these rookies play. Do I think it's going to be a much improved unit? Yes. I think the coaching staff is much better. And I think that these players will be better in their second and third years. But you look at the Redskins added Chase Young to what was already a decent defense. The Redskins don't have a bad defense. They have a pretty good defense. Their offense isn't very good. You look at the Cowboys. Cowboys are pretty good outside of the secondary. They got a pretty solid defense. The Eagles have a very good interior defensive line. They struggle a little bit in the secondary, but if I'm being honest right now, if you're being completely unbiased going into the year, now you may have higher expectations and think that these young safeties are going to take off and think that these pass rushers are going to take off, and maybe they will, and I hope they will, and they could. But going in, I got to have the Giants 4th on defense. Now on offense, they could be second. They could be. I got to have the Cowboys above them. The Cowboys have a more established offensive line. They've got 3 supreme talents at wide receiver. They've got Ezekiel Elliott. Cowboys are the best offense in the division. But the Giants could be second in that department. The Redskins are a clear 4th. The Giants might be the second best offense in the division. But on defense, I got to go 4th. Argenis, man, thanks so much for the love, man. I really appreciate that. Tana, I finally made one again. I'm glad you're in here, Aiden. Thanks for popping in. And Argenis says, I personally think we don't need a number 1 wide receiver. Patriots won Super Bowls without one. If Joe Judge will implement some of the Patriots onto the Giants, then all we need is good reads, O-line play, and accuracy. Listen, I agree with that. You look like you could be a contestant in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Well, I appreciate that, Fabian. Thank you so much for the kind words. I really appreciate that. As far as the number 1 wide receiver, I mean, you're kind of right. I mean, the Patriots outside of Randy Moss, never really had. I mean, unless you count Gronkowski. Gronkowski's definitely a great weapon at the tight end spot. But outside of Gronkowski, they never really had a supreme talent as a number one threat outside of the couple of years with Randy Moss. So, yeah, they always got the most out of, wide receivers that didn't really make it somewhere else. So it's a good point you bring up. But you need to have a much better offensive line, like you said. And with Saquon Barkley, maybe they can get by with receivers like this. Obviously, in an ideal world, you'd like to have a great wide receiver. And I think that's what the Giants will strive for in Daniel Jones' third year. I think they had more pressing needs that they had to fix. The Giants addressed getting the supreme receiver in Eli Manning's second year. They got Plaxico Burress, but that was a different situation. The Giants that year, when they brought in Eli Manning, had a pretty established defense. They already had a strong defensive line. And they had an emerging offensive line. So it was a different situation. I think next year is when the Giants will try to bring in their number one wide receiver. But, yeah, I mean, you see teams all the time the Patriots are a perfect example of a team that got by without a great wide receiver. At the end of the day, great quarterbacks make great wide receivers, and a great offensive line makes a good quarterback great. So it's a good point you bring up. Let's see what we got here. Chris, I don't know why, but my sister calls you Juice Mouth. I don't even know what that means, Bradley, but I appreciate that. How many hot dogs can I eat? Okay, then. Do you think Carter Coughlin can be an elite edge rusher one day? He played great against NFL caliber talent against Ohio State. I don't know if he's going to be an elite edge rusher, but I think he could be. He could definitely be a guy that could be in the rotation and a guy that could be a productive player for the New York Giants. Maybe. I mean, it could happen, but it's rare that you see a guy drop that far in the draft and ends up being an elite edge rusher. But if he turns out to be a guy that gets us 4 or 5 sacks, in a rotational role, you got to be happy. 7th-round pick. So hopefully that's what happens, and I think it's possible. I definitely think it's possible. I like him. Carter or Zimenez, who's going to break out? I like both of them. I think Zimenez will have more sacks. I think Carter will be used in a different way. I think that they'll drop him back in coverage a little bit. I think that they'll use him up at the line a little bit. I'll say Zimenez has more sacks, but I think both of them will improve this year. Danny Dimes, man, thanks for love, man. I appreciate it. He says, if the Giants win against the Steelers, I will donate $1,000. Also, I love your channel. Keep it up. Danny Dimes, man. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Danny Dimes, man, you're gonna have to give me $1,000. No, I'm kidding with you. But we're gonna beat the Steelers. You can book it. We're going to beat the Steelers. I'm telling you right now. I don't know. I want to say that. I really do feel like we have a good opportunity to win that game, though. I really do believe that. I really feel we have an opportunity to win that game. And it's a game I'm really looking forward to. And if we win that game, the Giants fan base is going to be jacked up. Because then you got the Bears up week 2. And the Bears are a winnable game. So if we ever started off 2-0, even though our next 3 games are really tough, it'll at least be a fun year and an interesting year. Even if we get to week 6 with a 2-3 record, now you got to your divisional games where you're in contention. You've got the Eagles coming up, you've got the Redskins coming up, you've got the Cowboys for a second time later in the year. So even if we get to that point at 2-3, I'll be happy. I want 2 wins out of our first 5 games. That's the key to me. Obviously, you want better, but if we can start 2-3 with that tough first 4 games, that'd be nice. Oh, man, Danny Dimes, man, I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, man. He says, regardless, I'm donating a lot. Love, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for being a great supporter of the channel. Really appreciate that. Entertainer bought to get because he wants to get paid like a defensive end. Yeah, hey, Tana, did you hear Gil Brandt, a Hall of Fame president, player personnel, comparing DJ style to the play of Peyton Manning in their rookie years? I did not. I did not see that, no. I did not. But it's funny you say that. I've seen people lightly compare the two. He ain't Peyton Manning, guys. He ain't Peyton Manning. If he's Peyton Manning, Peyton Manning to me is the greatest quarterback I've ever seen in terms of regular season quarterback. He's the greatest I've ever seen. So if you're expecting that, I think you're putting way too high of expectations on Daniel Jones. But I definitely think Daniel Jones could be a very good quarterback. R.J. Barrett or Daniel Jones? Well, Breeze, I got a question. R.J. Barrett or Daniel Jones? Okay, are they playing basketball against each other, or are they playing football? No, I'm just kidding with you. I will go with Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones is I just trust the New York Giants organization a lot more than the Knicks, and I just don't think the Knicks will support R.J. Barrett the same way that the Giants will. So I will go Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones will have the more successful career. I think he'll be more of a winning player. He'll experience playoff wins, where I don't necessarily know that to be the case with R.J. Barrett. I do like R.J. Barrett, though. I think R.J. Barrett's going to be a very good pro, but I got to go Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones is going to have the better career. Jacob says, what's your opinion on Darnay Holmes? I'm really excited to see him hit the field after watching his college highlights. Darnay Holmes is one of my favorite players. He might be my favorite player that we drafted. The more and more I find out about Darnay Holmes, obviously you hear about the video I did about Rod Woodson and Deion Sanders, praising him and everything else. And that was great, right? But then, the guy just seems like a good guy, a hard worker. He's athletic. He checks off every box. He's smart. He's athletic. He's hardworking. He's a team guy. I love Darnay Holmes. I think Darnay Holmes is going to be really good. I'm not trying to get my hopes up too high, but he just seems to be the type of guy that does what needs to be done to win football games. I'm a big fan of Darnay Holmes. Danny, man, thanks so much for love, man. He says, do you think we have a shot at the playoffs? You know what? It's football. I'm doing a video tomorrow. You can check it out. I talk about, it's more of a broad topic, but obviously I talk about the Giants. I talk about the teams that we're picking 1 to 10, who I think has the best chance to make the playoffs. And I talk about it in the video. But at the end of the day, it's the NFL. And yes, I think we have a shot. If the question is, do we have a good shot? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to probably tell you no. But for the Giants to make the playoffs, and I get asked this all the time, for the Giants to make the playoffs, Daniel Jones needs to take that monumental leap, which is really high expectations to put on a second-year quarterback in a new system. But if Daniel Jones does, I'm not even saying Carson Wentz did. Carson Wentz was the MVP before he got hurt in his second year. But if Daniel Jones elevates himself to be a top 8, 9 quarterback in the league this year, they can make the playoffs. But that's asking a lot for a second-year quarterback learning a new system. But if he does that, sure, they could. It's going to come down to the defense improving, the ball control offense, staying healthy, and the maturation of Daniel Jones. So it's possible, but not likely. But it could happen. It's football. Let's see what we got here. Saquon, 1,500 rushing yards. Who's Julius Peppers? He's a pass rusher. Saquon, 1,500 rushing. I think that's right around where I expect him to be, Tom. I think right around that 1,450 to 1,600 area. That's where I think he's going to be. I think he's going to have a monster year. I'm talking at least 500 yards receiving, at least 1,450 to 1,500 yards rushing, minimum. I think he's going to have 2,000 scrimmage yards minimum, and I think he's going to do better than that. But I think he's going to have a minimum of 2,000 yards from scrimmage this year. Oh, you mean Jabril Peppers? Jabril Peppers is safety for the New York Giants. What's going on, Big Bang? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Imagine we had the schedule the Jets have. Chances wouldn't be that good. The Jets got a tough schedule, too. I remember looking at it. They don't got an easy schedule. Jets got a tough schedule, too. I think I looked at it, and I actually like what the Jets did this offseason. I think the Jets improved their team, but I looked at their schedule. I'm like, they're not winning more than 6 or 7 games. Their schedule's brutal. But I also think higher than about the Patriots than I think a lot of other people do. I still think the Patriots are going to be pretty good. I'm not saying 12 wins good, but I still think they'll be at least an 8 or 9 win team. So I think the Jets will win 6 or 7 games this year. What's going on, G Ever? Thanks for popping in the stream. Cheese Whiz with the $2 donation. I appreciate it. On July 4th, hot dog or burger? Oh, he got me with the K word. He got me with the K word. Maybe he's not aware of that, but everybody makes fun of the way that I say the word ketchup. So on my hot dogs and burgers, I put ketchup on my burger. I put mustard. Sometimes I'll put both mustard and ketchup on my hot dog. I put the sauerkraut. I put the works on the hot dog. On the burger, I throw cheese on, obviously, and I put the K word on it. What's going on, Bavi? Thanks for popping in the stream. Record prediction for the Titans. Record prediction for the Titans, 8-8. I think the Titans are going to be one of the more disappointing teams this year. I do. I think they got hot last year. I'm not a believer. They lost Conklin. I'm not a believer in that team. I still think they're a middle-of-the-road team. Yeah, okay, yeah. Why you say Breeze? I don't know, man. I don't know. I gotta fix it. Ketchup. I gotta work on pronouncing that word better. I think it's a Long Island thing. I'm gonna go get the ketchup. Ketchup? Heinz ketchup? Is that better? Ketchup? I gotta pronounce it better. Ketchup. Bring me some yeah, what's up, Gabriel? Do you think the Giants can get Justin Ross in the second round since the injury? Justin, it's too early for me to start talking draft. I have no idea who's going to be there in the second round. It's way too early to tell. Have to see how the players play in college. It's way too early to tell in terms of who's going to drop to the second round. You knew about it, Christy says, yeah. Let's see what we got. Our defense gave up 30 points per game when Jones played last year, but people say Locke is better because he went 4-1. Yeah, you can't. I always laugh. That's the knock on Eli Manning. People say Eli Manning's 117 and 117. How good was he? It's a team game. You can't go by record. Now, of course, the quarterback definitely influences the record of the team as much as anybody else, but you put a great quarterback on a horrible team, he's not going to win a lot of games. So, yeah, I don't look too much into that. I am excited to see Drew Lock this year, though. I think Drew Lock will have a good year. They added some weapons there. They brought him Judy. The offensive line's still a problem there, though. So, it'll be interesting to see. I think Shermer's a good fit. As much as we hated Shermer as a coach, I think he's a good offensive coordinator. And I think he'll do a pretty good job there with Denver. I think Drew Lock will have a pretty good year, but I'm taking Daniel Jones. I'm taking DJ. Is Daniel Jones the best quarterback in the division? Way too early. Right now, I can't say that. Carson Wentz was an MVP for the first 13 games 2 years ago. He's had a lot more success in the league so far than Jones. It's not Jones' fault. He's only had 12 starts. Prescott's been to the playoffs numerous times. He's won the division. It's just not fair to compare. It's apples and oranges. I don't think you could compare Jones to either one of those two guys till he has another 2 or 3 years in the league. Do I think he could be better? Sure. But it's way too early. Right now, Carson Wentz is the best quarterback in the division right now. Do you have faith in Matt Peart to be the future right tackle of the Giants? Yes, I do. I mean, you read any... yes. A lot of people... He's viewed as a project, and the Giants have the perfect situation. They have the ability to keep Peart on the bench for a year so he can learn and get better. But he's got all the tools. He's got really long arms. He's very athletic for a man of his size. He's nimble. Yes, he's got to get meaner from what you read in here. He's got to get a lot meaner. He's got to get that mean streak in him. But, yeah, I do think Peart is, I think he's going to be, not could be, I think he's going to be the New York Giants right tackle. I think in 5 years you're going to look back and you're going to say, wow. Wow. In 2 drafts, Dave Gettleman got us our franchise quarterback, our franchise left and right tackle. He got us Darius Slayton in the 5th round, who was a productive wide receiver for us. He got us Saquon Barkley in his first draft, who's the best weapon in football. I think you're going to look back and you're going to admire a lot of things that he did in the draft. I'm a big fan of both those tackles. Yeah, we got to stay healthy. If we're gonna surprise people, we got to stay healthy. Where should Cam Newton go? Is anyone going to pick him up? Wasted talent. Better Super Bowl team 2007. As far as Cam Newton, I think the Steelers. If I'm Newton, I'm going to the Steelers. I'm going to Steelers. I think that's the best fit. A couple of reasons. And I don't even know if they want him, but I think it's the best fit. They got a good, strong offensive line. One of the probably the top 10 lines in the sport. Ben Roethlisberger is going to get hurt. It happens every year. He may only miss 2 or 3 games, but when he gets hurt, Newton will get his opportunity. And if Newton plays well, he'll get paid the next year. So I think the Steelers are the best spot for him to go to as a backup. He's not going to start anywhere. Newton's not going to be a starter this year. He's just not. How do you feel about Aldrick Rosas? I think he's going to jail. What's up, Blue Jackets Talk? Man, glad to see you in the stream, buddy. He says, Chris, you might be high if you think Saquon is a better weapon than McCaffrey. I don't think I'm high. I don't think I'm high. Blue Jackets Talk. I got to think about that, but I'm not high. I'm not high. Nope. Saquon's better. I'm taking Saquon, man. Call me a homer. I'm a huge Saquon guy. I'm taking Saquon every single time. Saquon's had a horrible offensive line. You're going to see Saquon break out this year. I'm warning you. I'm warning everybody in this chat right now. If you've got the number 1 pick in fantasy football this year, take Saquon Barkley. I'm warning you. He's going to have a monster year. Let's see what we got here. I got Isaiah Simmons and CeeDee Lamb winning Rookie of the Year. That actually, CeeDee Lamb was the first guy that I've said. CeeDee Lamb, actually, no. I don't know. If I'm going to pick a wide receiver, I think I'm going Judy. I think Judy gets more of an opportunity. I just think there's too many mouths to feed in Dallas. Dallas they got Gallup, they got Cooper. CeeDee Lamb can have a good year. I don't think he puts up good enough stats to win Rookie of the Year. I just think there's too many mouths there. Coffee. People say McCaffrey is way better than Barkley. I just don't see it. Barkley's never had a good. Barkley's gonna ball out this year. He's gonna ball out this year. Is it possible that Andy Dalton takes Dak's job? No. But I'll tell you what, man. And I hate the Cowboys, but that was a really smart move by the Dallas Cowboys because Dak has no leverage. Because if Dak doesn't play, Dalton will win games there. I guarantee you Dalton will win games there. He'll win them 10 games, Dalton. And if that happens, Dak loses all credibility. He loses all of his leverage. It was a really smart move by the Dallas Cowboys. But no, Dak's going to be the starting quarterback, and he will not lose his job. As long as he signs the contract. But Dalton could win games there. Successful offseason for the Knicks is what? Successful offseason for the Knicks? Don't sign anybody. Or do the same thing you did this offseason. 1-year contracts. Don't sign a single soul. Keep the books clean. If I'm signing a 3, 4, 5-year deal, it better be a high-impact player. And there's none, in my opinion, in this year's free agency class. When I say high-impact, I'm talking top 7, 8 players in the league. Knicks can't be wasting that cap space on guys that are not. It would be a horrible decision. Joseph, man, thanks so much for the love. I appreciate it. He says, besides Daniel Jones and Saquon, who are you most excited to see in 2020? I'll tell you, I'm excited to see a lot of players, mainly on the defensive side. They have so many young players that I think could break out this year. You know, I mean, the rookies, McKinney. I'm so excited to see McKinney. I'm excited to see Leonard Williams. I think Leonard Williams can have a really good year this year for the Giants. I'm excited to see Lorenzo Carter. I'm excited to see Zimenez. There's a lot of players on the defense I'm really excited to see this year. There really is. In terms of the offense, it's got to be Slayton. I've been very high on Slayton this year. I think Slayton fits the offense to a T. And, of course, Saquon. But you said him, Saquon and Jones. But on the offense, I gotta go Slayton. The defense, I can name 4 or 5 guys. There's so many guys that can have breakout years. What's up, Ernesto? Thanks for popping in, man. Justin. Let's see. We got. Do you think we should sign Adams? Why isn't he a huge target for? Well, first off, he's not a free agent. It would be. I think you mean to trade for Adams, because I mean, all right. Look at the Giants roster. What's their strength right now, or their perceived strength, or where they've invested a lot already? It's the safety. So if we're going to trade as good as Adams is, and he's better than the safeties we have, I don't think that's where we should be putting our resources. I think the Giants got 2 good young safeties as is. You got McKinney, you got Peppers. To me, it doesn't add up. I would much rather go out there and get an edge rusher if you're making a trade, or get a center. Just doesn't make sense. That's kind of our strength on defense. It's not a good fit. Let's play a game. New jerseys or new stadium? New stadium. I talked about it earlier. I'm not a big fan of MetLife. All right, I'm back. Was watching a little bit Uncle Lou. What's going on, man? Sports expert. Thanks for popping in the stream. Thomas is one that I'm excited to see. Oh, yeah, Thomas, of course. The whole offensive line. This stream is my birthday present. Only if it was yesterday, it would have been the best part of the OK day. Well, Mystery, happy birthday. Thank you for tuning in the stream. Thank you for being a great supporter of the channel. The only reason I was going to go live yesterday, the only reason I didn't go live yesterday is because I was supposed to pop on with Lord Brunson, and he got caught up with work. So I said I'll take tomorrow off. I'll go live tomorrow. And then I'm going to be live on Bad Dog's channel tomorrow, the weekly Giants show. And I haven't decided if I'm going to do it Saturday or Sunday, the subscribers live stream. I know I'm going live 3 days in a row if I do Saturday, but Monday I'm doing a member stream. Sunday's Father's Day. So I know a lot of people probably celebrate Father's Day. So I haven't decided yet. I'll probably leave it up to you guys on whether I stream Saturday or Sunday. But tomorrow I'll be on Bad Dog's channel. Prince Castro, man. I really appreciate that, man. Prince Castro's a great subscriber, man. He says, no, dude, you're high on some good ish, too. What's up, Prince, man? Thank you for popping in the stream, man. I appreciate that, man. Saquon is bad. I love Saquon. I agree with you. I think Saquon is the most just pure talent. I think he's got as much talent as any running back I've ever seen. I really do. But he's got to put it to good use. Let's see what we got here. Are the Patriots really set on Jarrett Stidham, or will they make a big move before the season starts? I think they're set on him, at least for this year. I really do. You look at Belichick in the past, most quarterbacks that he's drafted have been pretty successful when given the opportunity. Even a guy like Jacoby Brissett, I think he drafted him. I can't remember. Maybe he didn't. But Garoppolo, Matt Castle, I think they're set on him. I think they're going to give him a chance. I could be wrong, but I think they're set on him. Who leads the NFL in passing, rushing, receiving yards in the 2020 season? Wow. I'm going to go Saquon in rushing. In receiving? I may go Hopkins. I could see Arizona throwing the ball a lot. He's clearly the prime target there. I'd have to think about that. You could go Michael Thomas again. I think I'm going to go Hopkins. I really think Hopkins is going to have a big year for Arizona. So I'm going to go Hopkins. I'm going to go Barkley. And in terms of passing yards, let me think about this. I'm going to give you a wild card. I'm not picking him, but one guy that I think could have a really good year is Matt Stafford this year. I think he could throw for a lot of yards this year. I'm not picking him, but he's kind of my off-the-wall pick. Matt Ryan will be up there because the Falcons will always be trailing. He'll be up there in passing yards. I'm going to go Mahomes, though. I got to go Mahomes. I'm going to go Mahomes. I'm going to go Barkley. And I am going to go DeAndre Hopkins. New York for life, man. Thanks so much for love, man. I appreciate it. I don't celebrate Father's Day. I show up once a year to see if these kids are NFL players or not. There you go. That would make you a happy father. Is Ballantyne a... yes, Ballantyne's still with the Giants. Yes. I don't know if he's going to have much of a role, but he is still with the Giants. What's up, Card Coach, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. Another great subscriber of mine, man. Glad that you're here, buddy. Dan Mark Holmes just trolled the hell out of Philly 500. I'll have to check that out after. What's up, Victor Jimenez, man? Thanks for being here, buddy. Who gets hurt first this season, Wentz or Barkley? I hope neither. I never root for injuries, but if you were asking me who I think's more likely to get hurt, I would say Wentz, especially because Brooks got hurt. I appreciate that, Max, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, 26K. And yeah, make sure you watch my videos this week. I know I kind of got caught up with other stuff. I'm going to start doing more surprise giveaways. And one of these streams, probably next week, I'm going to have a giveaway, but I'm going to announce it in a video. So be sure to, next couple of days, be sure to check out some of the videos. Won't be tomorrow. There's a hint, but a couple of days down the road, I'll be doing a giveaway announcement. I'll be doing a surprise fitted hat giveaway in probably my next solo live stream, which will probably be Wednesday or Thursday. So be on the lookout for that. Your thoughts on Bad Dog's NFC East roundtable stream? I only got to see about 20 minutes of it. I passed out. I want to watch the replay, but I think it's a great idea, Victor. And I was talking about that earlier. I've been in discussions of doing that for a couple of months now. Not live. I'm going to do a podcast. I'll just tell you the guys I'm going to have on right now. I'm going to be doing a podcast this year if we have football, which I think we're all hoping we do. But I'm going to do once a week, NFC East Roundtable. It's going to be Skywalker Steel. Maybe a lot of people, he's a newer YouTuber. I think he's great, though. I've talked to him in the past. He's a really nice guy. He's a Cowboys YouTuber. He's going to be on the panel. Louis T, who I absolutely love. One of my favorite guys on YouTube. I reached out to him, and he immediately said, let's do it. Really knowledgeable. Redskins fan. He's great. He's going to be on the podcast, and I'm going to have Lord Brunson as the Eagles representative. So that is in the works, and that's going to be once a week podcast. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Will the Knicks win next year? The Knicks are going to go 0-82 next year. Let's see what we got here. Do you believe Josh Gordon could fit our new scheme? If so, would it be a good pickup for the Giants? Do you think Josh Gordon could fit our... We're not picking up Josh Gordon. I just don't see Joe Judge bringing in a player like that. I just don't. I think they've had enough distractions this whole season. I don't think the Giants are in a place to do that. What's up, Nicholas, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. What kind of hat are we talking about? Fitted hat. What's going on, Hot Nichols, man? Thanks so much for love, man. I appreciate it. He says, what's good, gang? Can't wait to see how this offense comes along. Also, kind of feel like Love can do a serviceable job at corner. Mad love, y'all. Thank you so much for love, man. I really appreciate that. I'm with you, man. I cannot wait to see what this offense is this year. I'm excited for the offense. With the beefed up offensive line, I really am. I want to see what most people view as a boring offense. I want to be like the 2008 offense. We're not going to be as good as that because that offensive line was nasty. But I want to be the type of offense that you know what we're going to do every week. We're going to run the ball 30 times. You're not stopping us. We're going to run the ball 35 times. You're not going to stop us. And I think we have the type of offense that could be some sort of a semblance of that. And I think that will definitely help Daniel Jones in the passing game. So I'm excited to see this offensive line and this offense this year. What's Daniel Jones' ceiling and floor player comparison? I mean, I've said Tony Romo in the past. He kind of reminds me of Romo as a ceiling, I guess. Hopefully with a lot more playoff success. And a lot of people may laugh. Tony Romo was a great quarterback in the regular season. Didn't get it done in the postseason. In terms of floor, I'll say Ryan Tannehill. But I think he's going to be at least a decent quarterback. Al, man, thank you so much for popping in the stream, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for love, man. He says, hope you're doing well, see me. Yeah, Al, I don't know if you emailed me again. I tried to check today. I missed your email. I'm very bad with emails. I'm very bad with emails. But thank you so much for love, man. And I hope we have a season this year. I really do. And thank you for your continued support on the channel. He's a great supporter of mine, all the way from Dallas. So I hope you're staying safe there. I know that the numbers have been going up over there. Thank you for the love, man. I really appreciate it. How you feel if the Knicks sign for? If the King, at the end of the day, if the Knicks sign guys to short-term deals, Evan Fournier, if they sign guys to short-term deals, I'm okay with it. I don't want to sign guys to 4-year deals, 3-year, 4-year. I don't want Tim Hardaway stuff. Keep that out of here. Keep that out of here. Austin. Oh, my bad. Austin. Yeah, the Knicks might go 0-82 now. No, I'm kidding. The Knicks might win like 20 games. They might win 20 games. What team would win if the 2007 Giants played the 2011 Giants? The 2007 Giants were a much better football team. But what I will say, that's a really tough question. As a whole, the 2007 Giants were much better. The 2007 Giants had a better offensive line, much better offensive line. They probably had a better pass rush. The 11 Giants definitely had a good pass rush, but I think they were stronger on both lines. The 2011 Giants had probably better weapons. That wide receiving core was great with Hakeem Nicks, Victor Cruz, Mario Manningham. But it's close. But Eli Manning in 2011 was leaps and bounds better than Eli Manning in 2007. So 2011 Eli was much better than 2007 Eli. So that may be the X factor. And even though the 2007 team, in my opinion, was a better team, actually a much better team, Eli Manning was that much better of a quarterback that the 11th team might have beat him. It's close, though. But the 7th team was definitely a better all-around team. Let's see what we got here. Chris, what's your thoughts on who will be the most improved player on the Giants with the new coaches? Yeah, Ernesto, I'm kind of like, so I hope you're right. And they probably will win more than 20 games. I'm just like, so like, with the Knicks, I got all my hopes up with the Knicks. I was so excited with KP, the way they were building. We're going to get a top pick. Then they trade KP, and I'm like, okay, we're going to be able to use that money on cap space. We're going to be able to bring in Durant. We're going to be able to bring in Kyrie, even though I don't really like Kyrie. But then they just wasted that opportunity. I'm just so like, I don't even want to get my heart broken anymore with the Knicks. I'm kind of like in a wait-and-see approach and just hope that they're doing things the right way. And then I start to see some semblance of that they're building properly. I am happy that they haven't gone out and splurged and wasted their cap space. But I'm just, it's so hard. The Knicks are so hard to root for. I love the Knicks, but they're so hard to root for. In terms of the coaching staff for the New York Giants, I love the coaching staff. To answer your question, I absolutely love the coaching staff. I think they did a great job with the assistant coaches they brought in. I love Joe Judge. We'll have to wait and see if they get results as the head coach, but I'm a big fan of the New York Giants coaching staff. I think they definitely put together a really good staff. What's up, Mark, man? Thanks for popping into the stream, man. Both the Knicks and Giants are in rebuild mode. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, man, it is so hard to be a New York. I was talking on the phone the other day about this too. New York is the toughest place to rebuild, and I understand why the fans are as impatient as they are. First off, we're the most passionate fans. Period. End of story. Boston's got passionate fans, but I think New York's the most passionate fans. We live, we breathe, we eat our sports. But it is so hard to rebuild in New York because of that. When you charge the prices that the New York Knicks charge, when you charge the prices that the Yankees charge, and, every New York team charges, it's tough to tell fans, we're going to suck for 3 years. We're going to suck for 3 years, but we're going to charge you 3 times the amount that the Toronto Raptors charge for you to sit in that seat. And to me, that is the pressure of rebuilding in New York, and it's why the Knicks, it's why fans don't want to sit through rebuilds. It's so hard to rebuild in New York. But to the Giants' credit and the Knicks' credit, if they could hit on some draft picks, they've been pretty patient the last couple of years. Now, of course, the Knicks flipped their entire coaching staff and GM again, but at least they're both rebuilding. Name 2 teams who improved in the NFC East. Name 2 teams who improved in the NFC East. I mean, I think the Giants definitely improved. I think the Giants and Redskins both improved. Did they improve enough? Probably not to win it, but I think they both improved. I think the Cowboys are kind of status quo. I think they got better in some areas, worse in others. And I don't think the Eagles improved. So I would say the Giants and Redskins improved out of the 4. Diehard Giants fan, man. Thanks so much for that, man. I appreciate it. He says, from JJ Trilla, don't you think the NFC East will be familiar with Garrett's offense, especially the Cowboys' defense? JJ Trilla, man, big Cowboys fan, always comes into my streams, always shows a lot of love. People ask me that all the time. Who's got more of an advantage this year? Is it the Dallas Cowboys when they play the Giants because Jason Garrett was the head coach there and they're familiar with the way he calls plays? Or is it Jason Garrett because Jason Garrett is very familiar with the personnel in the Dallas Cowboys? And I think you can make arguments either way. Like, I think Jason Garrett is just as familiar with the Cowboys as the Cowboys are with him. And I would actually think that Jason Garrett has more of the edge than the Cowboys do. That's not me being biased. That's just my honest opinion. But, yeah, I mean, I suppose the division is familiar with him. But at the end of the day, the Cowboys had a very good offense under Jason Garrett. They knew the offense he was going to run. He ran it anyway. It's going to come down to the personnel of the New York Giants executing what they're supposed to do. If you execute, I think the Giants will have a good offense. It's going to come down to blocking and running the ball with Saquon Barkley. But I'm not too worried about the Cowboys knowing what Jason Garrett's going to do. I'm really not. I'm not too worried about it. Let's see what we got here. Knicks always skip steps. Oh, God. K2, I could talk about the Knicks. It's nice to break it up a little bit, talk a little bit something, talk broad sports, because I know we got some baseball, basketball fans in here. Listen, man, the Knicks, my whole life, the Knicks have done everything wrong. Since the Ewing days, the Knicks sucked me in as a kid. I loved the Knicks teams in the 90s. Absolutely loved. My favorite teams ever. Those 90s Knicks teams are my favorite teams I've ever rooted for. Loved them. They were what New York was all about. They were tough. They were gritty. But since then, they do everything wrong. They've always taken shortcuts. The Carmelo thing was a complete mess. They trade away draft picks to get Carmelo Anthony. They trade away draft picks to get Antonio McDyess. He gets hurt a week later. Zach Randolph. They've always taken shortcuts. Stephon Marbury, so on and so forth. And that has always been the problem with that basketball team. They are the least patient team in all the sports. And I'm actually encouraged that they've been more patient recently. Andrew J, man, thanks so much for love. I appreciate it. You're starting a team. Who do you take, Darnold or Danny Dimes? Listen, man, I'm a Giants fan. Who do you think I'm going to say? I'm taking Daniel Jones. But I don't throw disrespect at Darnold. I know a lot of Giants fans want me to do that. I don't think Darnold's a bad quarterback. I really don't. I think Darnold's been set up to fail in his first 2 years. I think the Jets did him a disservice by not improving that offensive line last year. But I think Darnold, if you give him the right pieces, could be a good quarterback. But I'm taking Daniel Jones. I think Daniel. I would go with Daniel Jones, but I do think Darnold could be a good quarterback. I think they both could be very good. It's just a matter of providing them with the pieces that they need to be successful. Let's see what we got here. I think we could split with the Eagles because the Eagles did not improve. I think we could too. Especially with the Brooks injury. I think we could. But, we could have split with the Eagles every year for the last, 4 years. But they always find a way to beat us. We always got them on the ropes. You think Jamal Adams Swag, it's tough for me to say. When I made that video, it was the first team that popped in my head because that's all you've heard. You've heard Jamal Adams to the Cowboys. He grew up a Cowboy fan. He grew up in the Dallas area. Dallas needs a safety. They wanted McKinney. So I said Dallas. I said Dallas to me makes the most sense. But Dallas doesn't have a lot of money. So and to me it's going to come down to the price too. What do the Jets want? You got to be realistic. If the Jets want 2 first-round picks, they might not be able to get that. So it's going to come down to who's willing to take that leap of faith also and pay the price that the Jets want. But I do think the Cowboys make a lot of sense. Their biggest weakness is the position that he plays. So I could see it. Definitely, that was the first team that came to my mind. Buccaneer favorite lightsaber color. My favorite color is green, so I'd go with that. Buccaneers overhyped. Dream team Eagles all over again. 7-9, 8-8. Defense bad. Thoughts. I was kind of saying that for a while. I don't know what to think of the Bucs. I really don't, because they've got talent. They've got talent on both sides. They've got talent on the defense. They've got some edge rushers. They've got talent on the offense. They've got a really good offensive mind as the head coach with Bruce Arians. They got a really good defensive mind with Bowles, and Jets fans don't like him as a head coach, but he was a good defensive coordinator. They're tough for me to figure out because I don't believe in Brady anymore. He's 43 years old, but I do think they have a lot of pieces there to be successful. I don't know. I was with you. I was saying 8-8, but I don't know anymore. I might have them as a 10-6 football team. I might have them as a playoff team. I don't know. I haven't been able to figure. I can't figure the Bucs out yet until the season starts. And Mark, man, thanks so much for love, man. I really appreciate that, man. Great subscriber. He says, I knew the Knicks were officially jinxed when we missed out on Zion and Morant. Do you think the NFL completes a full season? Yeah, when we missed out on Zion and Morant. Now, I like R.J. Barrett. Don't get me wrong. I think R.J. Barrett's going to be a very good player. But when they missed out on those two and they missed out on everybody in free agency, it really left you, just numb. In terms of the NFL, it really is impossible for me to say. Obviously, the report came out today. Fauci, right? I can't remember the guy's name, but he came out today and said that, he thinks that players are basically going to have to be quarantined in order to play. They change their story every couple of weeks, and all I can do right now, I'm going to continue to operate my channel as if the season's going to go on, because that's all I can do. I'm going by what the NFL tells me, and I'm going to continue to talk about the upcoming season, and if something changes, well, we'll have to figure out what we're going to talk about. But, I'm kind of like 50-50. I think in the end they're going to play a season. I don't know if it'll be a full season. And the NFL definitely set up the schedule in a way so they'll be able to make changes. Every team has 2 home games, 2 road games to start the first 4 weeks. So we'll see. Maybe they cut it short. Maybe they cut off 4 games. I hope that's not the case. I hope we get a full season, and I think everybody hopes that. I think we all need a distraction. We need to get away from what's going on in the world. Even if it's empty stadiums, we need something. And I think we were all really looking forward to the NFL coming back for that, to provide that. And hopefully we get it, and when we get to see the NBA, if that comes, that's when I'll be confident that we're going to get to see NFL. The word is that the NBA is going to come back the end of July. If that happens, I'll say to myself, okay, I believe we're going to get a full season of NFL, but you don't know, because if they start playing and then a player gets sick, I don't know, man. I just hope, at this point I'm remaining optimistic and I'm hoping that we have a season. But thanks for love. I appreciate it. Al, man, thank you so much for love, man. He says, Golden's still here. We need to help this guy. Need a leader on D. As of now, he's still here, Al. July 22nd is the deadline. If nobody signs him by July 22nd, the Giants tendered him, he will be a Giant. That's the rule. But teams have an opportunity to up the offer before July 22nd, but it's getting closer and closer. We're like a month away. So if you don't hear anything about Golden up till July 22nd, he'll be a Giant. And for a very cheap price, I think for like $4 million. So Giants will get a really good bargain. John Laterno, what's going on, my man? Thank you so much for the love, man. He says, stand up, the entertainer. You're the best, my friend. It sucks we missed the Phillies and Mets because Giants. But do you think Rieger and Jackson can scare teams? Are you not worried about our wide receivers? I think you guys got speed. Rieger, I think that's how you pronounce it. Jalen Rieger, he's fast. He's definitely fast. Deshaun Jackson is like, especially at this point in his career, is the type of receiver where he's going to give you, if he stays healthy, he's going to give you like 2 or 3 games throughout the year where he's going to blow the top off the stadium. He's going to go for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then for the other like 12 games, he's not going to do anything. That's my opinion on Deshaun Jackson. But with the Giants luck, they'll run into him for one of those 2 weeks. But you guys definitely have speed. Alshon Jeffrey, you still have a tall threat. You got 2 really good tight ends. You definitely have weapons. And obviously Miles Sanders, the second-year running back. So Eagles definitely got weapons. The question is, can Wentz stay healthy? And will the receivers perform as well as you think they can? Can they stay healthy? We'll see. You guys definitely have talent, though. But thanks so much for love. I appreciate it. How many Pro Bowls will come out of the Giants and who? Also name a sleeper. Yeah, I get asked this all the time. I've said 3. I've said a member of the special teams. I think that I'm not gonna be. I'll say Cody Core, but a member on special teams. Somebody on the. I think they're gonna have a very well coached special teams. I think the Giants are gonna have one of the top 5 units in the league. So I will go with special teamer. Will make the Pro Bowl. Saquon Barkley, and I am gonna go. Man, I'll go Bradbury. I think they get 1 Pro Bowler on the defense. And maybe the offensive line, they get 1. Maybe Zeitler, Thomas. But I think I'm going to go Barkley, 1 player on the defense, whether it's Bradbury, whether it's Leonard Williams, whether it's Dexter Lawrence. And I'm going to go a member of the special teams. I'll go 3 Pro Bowlers. In terms of a sleeper to make the Pro Bowl, I'll go Will Hernandez. Will Hernandez will be my sleeper to make the Pro Bowl. I was very high on Will Hernandez last year. He didn't blow up the way I thought he would. This year, he's more experienced. They're running a scheme that's better suited for his skill set. It's a power scheme. It was more of a zone scheme last year. From everything I read, he's better fit for that type of system. So, and plus he's got Andrew Thomas next to him. So I think Will Hernandez could have a really good year. He'll be my sleeper in terms of a Pro Bowler. Pro Bowl player, exactly. We're going to the Super Bowl. We're not going to have any Pro Bowlers, Hot Nickels. Yeah, Henny, I like Cody. Cody Core's a good one. I like Cody Core, man. Riley Dixie could have made it last year. Unfortunately, Riley Dixie got way too much practice, the punter for the New York Giants. I saw an article placing Joey Bosa to the Giants 20. Yes, I saw that as well, Duran. I saw that as well. And yeah, 60, is it that much? Last I checked, they had 45. And I think they saved 16, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's 14. I think they saved 14 if they cut Solder. But maybe Sport Track's not accurate. I thought they were going to have about 60 after they cut Solder. But they could always finagle with the cap. We saw that this offseason. They created more cap space by moving contracts around, things like that. I'm sure if the Giants want to add a couple of pieces, they'll be able to do it. I'm going to have another video. Probably tomorrow I'll do it. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to have a video talking about what I think is going to be a big decision for the New York Giants. And it's impossible to tell how they're going to go about doing it next year because we don't know if Gettleman's still going to be the GM. But I think Gettleman, if he is still the GM or whoever takes over, is going to have to make a choice with Dalvin Tomlinson and Leonard Williams. I'm going to make a video on that, breaking down the salary cap, breaking down the contracts that I think each one of those 2 individuals will command, and talking about, do I think they'll keep both? Do I think they'll keep one? Do I think they'll keep neither? And I'll go over all the possibilities and what would happen if they, depending on what they do. And also, I guess, talking about the possibilities of potentially trading Dalvin Tomlinson at some point this year within season. But I just think that's an interesting topic, so I'm probably going to talk about that tomorrow. I appreciate that, Last Jedi. Thank you very much. What's up, Jake? Thanks for popping into the stream. McKinney Pro Bowl. I think McKinney's got a good chance to make the Pro Bowl. Yeah, Breeze John, I'm talking about that tomorrow, so I'll save that for my video. Where does Saquon and Lewis rank among running back duos in the league? Who's my favorite undrafted free agent? Well, I like Leak. Did you ask wide receiver or did you ask in general? Wide receiver, I'm going with what's his name? I always get all the names mixed up. But the tall wide receiver from Ohio State. What's his name? Victor. Benjamin Victor. He's my favorite of the undrafted. What's up, Gerald? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Let's see what we got here. Who's your favorite? There was another question I was about to ask. Knicks or Giants as champion? I want to see the Knicks. I've never seen the Knicks win, but I want to see both. But I want to see the Knicks before I die. You got your ears lowered. Nice haircut. Is the pass rushing? Yes, Steven. Pass rush is definitely our biggest weakness. We're going to try to generate a pass rush through scheme. Through pressure off the through blitzing and coverage. But yeah, we don't have a proven edge rusher. That's definitely our biggest weakness. Somebody just asked me that West Coast. I say 3 Pro Bowlers. Stand up if you got a haircut. What's going on, Pettisance? Pettisance is the man. Thank you for being here. Who will be the Giants' MVP on defense? Oh man. As crazy as this may sound, it could be McKinney. It could be if the Giants are going to surprise people this year, McKinney's going to have to be really good. McKinney and Peppers are both going to have to be really good. They're going to be so vital to that defense. All the different roles that they could play, they could be X factors for that defense. They really could. I think Leonard Williams could be so important for the defense also. Bradbury's going to be so important too. There are so many important players to this defense. Brad, the second corner. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with the second corner. If the Giants are going to surprise this year, and hopefully it's DeAndre Baker, that second corner is going to have to play very well. I've said it all offseason. I think that's the X factor. If they get really good corner production out of both their corners, in a system where they're going to ask their corners to really man up, they're going to be blitzing a lot. I think DeAndre Baker is a big piece for this defense this year. Let's see what we got here. How many tackles will Martinez have? Yeah, he's going to have a lot. The guy gets 144 tackles 3 years in a row. He's going to get a lot. He's a tackle machine. Your last meal? Fabian's been asking me crazy questions today. I'm going to have a hot dog eating competition like you asked earlier. I'm going to have 35 hot dogs for my last meal. Nathan's hot dog competition. Do you think the Giants make any more big moves in free agency? Logan Ryan, Everson Griffin? No. I think the Giants are pretty much done in terms of bringing in, named talent in free agency. If they bring in somebody, I think it'll be, Cameron Wake. It'll be like an old guy, like a depth guy on a minimum contract. Marcus Golden, we hope that we get him back for that cheap price of $4 million. But yeah, he'll be Marcus Golden. If there's going to be a name of significance that I think it'll be Golden. But I don't see any. They don't have any money. They don't have any cap space. Let's see what we got here. Monday. No, it's July 22nd. Not June 22nd. July 22nd is the deadline. Name first round busts. What, in New York Giants history? Or in this year's draft? Way too early for me to tell who's going to be a bust in this year's draft. Giants have had a ton of first-round busts. Eli Apple comes to mind. Eric Flowers. There's a number of first-round busts. Even Justin Pugh, who was decent but wasn't worth the pick. There's a number of first-round busts by the New York Giants. What do you think about Kyler and Locke both having higher MVP odds than Jones? I'm not surprised. To be honest, I understand it. I think Dan Jones could be. I like Dan Jones more, but both of those quarterbacks, I think, have a higher probability of making the playoffs. So that's probably why. To win the MVP, you have to make the playoffs. So I understand it. That doesn't necessarily mean that they think they're better than Daniel Jones. Christian, man, thanks so much for the love. I appreciate it, man. He says, hey there, Tana. Can I get a birthday shout-out? And go Big Blue. Happy birthday, Christian Montoya, man. Thanks for popping into the stream. Thank you for being a great subscriber. Hope you're staying safe out there. Thank you for continuing to support the channel. Thanks for being here. Name 5 first-round studs this year. 5 first-round busts. That's way too hard off the top of my head. But I thought that the Henderson, I thought was a reach. The 9th overall pick. I I like Becton, but I think he could be a bust. So if you're asking me players that could be busts, I will go Becton as an early first-round pick. Henderson, I think that one of the quarterbacks is definitely going to be a bust. I'll go Herbert. There's no way all three quarterbacks work out. So if I had to pick one, I'd pick Herbert as the most realistic guy that could bust. Tua could be a bust because of the injury history. I don't think Burrow will be a bust. Chase Young's not going to be a bust. Thomas not going to be a bust. I don't think any of the other offensive linemen will be bust that were picked early. I'll go Ruggs. I'll go Ruggs. I like Ruggs, but if you're asking me who has the highest bust potential, I'll go Ruggs. I think he was drafted primarily for speed, and a lot of times those guys don't work out in the NFL. So I will go Ruggs as my fifth. In terms of guys that'll be great, Chase Young is the obvious. I love Andrew Thomas. I think the offensive linemen are very safe. I think Wills, Thomas, Chase Young. Wirfs, no. Wirfs is not in my top five. But those three are definitely in my top five. I'm not going to put Burrow in the top five. I don't think he's that safe. I think there's safer options. I think CeeDee Lamb is going to be really good. That's four. I like Ruiz. I liked Ruiz a lot. And I think he was a safe pick by the Saints. I'll go with those five. JB12, man, thank you so much for the love. He says, do you go to the Giants training camps? I go yearly. Yes. I've been to the Okuda's a good one too. I forgot about Okuda. I've been to the Giants training camp. Yes. I didn't go last year. I went the year before. I don't think that's going to happen this year, unfortunately, with what's going on. But that's definitely something I'm doing in the future. And I'm going to organize get-togethers with that. That's something I definitely want to do in the future. JB12, man, thanks so much for the love. I appreciate that. Simmons is a good one, too. Is our line built better? I just said offensive lineman because I feel offensive linemen are safe. Is our line built better or safer than a lot of other positions? Is our line built better for run or run blocking? I definitely think it's built better for run blocking. Yeah, I would go run blocking with the current offensive line. I think Ruiz is a safe pick, man. I think Ruiz is one of the safer picks. Listen, the Saints draft well on that offensive line. You go back, I did a video on this. You go back, you look at the history of the New Orleans Saints with drafting offensive linemen. They hit. Over they've drafted, I think, now 3 first-round offensive linemen in like the last 5 drafts. I was begging that the New York Giants could get him in the second round. I love that kid. Love his work ethic. He's going to be a good player. I think he's safe. Al, man, thanks so much for love, man. I appreciate it. Love your channel. Never disappoint. I really appreciate that, Fabian. What's our kicker situation? No news yet. Your last vid. Yeah, there's nothing. Al, thank you for the love, man. I appreciate that. There's nothing new that's come out on the situation. I'm still waiting to hear more. I'll probably have a video soon talking about potential replacements. But as of now, there's nothing new. I'm sure there'll start to be some news leaked down that. And when there is, I'll definitely talk about it. But I think he's gone. I really do. I don't see the Giants bringing him back. It's just, he's a kicker. If he was a quarterback, maybe not. But if this is true, that he was going 100 miles an hour, and I think he had a previous DUI. Don't quote me on that. One of my subscribers told me that. I haven't looked into it. But if that's the case, I think he's gone. I'd be shocked if the Giants bring him back. I really would. But they've done it in the past. I can't remember the kicker's name. He had the whole thing with the domestic abuse, and they kept him. But I don't see it. I don't think he's coming back. Yeah, Last Jedi. You know, I told you as soon as the draft, I loved Ruiz. Where do Barkley and Lewis rank among running backs? Oh, yeah, Marcos. I think I meant to answer that earlier. They're top 5. I mean, just having Barkley alone, they're a top 5 running back duo. They might be number 1, but I'd have to think. I'm sure there's probably a much better number 2 running back with a really good running back. I'd have to think about it, but they're definitely top 5. Barkley alone makes them top 5. I'm not in love with Lewis, but he's a veteran. He's got experience with Judge. He should be a suitable backup, but and they got him for like $1 million, so he was a good pickup, but he's nothing special. But Barkley's a beast. I would have taken. I think I would have taken Ruiz over McKinney also. I was the closer the draft got, the higher I got on Ruiz. I was a big fan of Ruiz. I would have taken Ruiz over McKinney. Which Giant players? Oh, God. Thank you so much, Hilltop. I appreciate that. Will Antonio Brown play football again? If so, what team? I think eventually he'll get another opportunity. I don't know if it'll be this year. There's no way I know which team. I can tell you it won't be the Giants. But I think somebody will give him an opportunity. I have no idea who, but somebody will. I appreciate that, Jesse Bryan. Top 5. That's a good question. Top 5 athletes in New York. Saquon Barkley's in the top 5. Aaron Judge, probably in the top 5. Jacob deGrom. I'm thinking baseball, but deGrom's the best pitcher in the sport. So I think I gotta have deGrom in there. I gotta have Judge. I gotta have Barkley. I'm not a hockey guy, so I'm gonna leave hockey out of it. So Barkley, Judge, deGrom. I don't think Barrett's there yet. Durant, when he gets back, you got to have Durant in there when he gets back. He's one of the 5 best players on the planet. So, if he could prove he's healthy. So I'll have Durant. I'll have Barkley. I'll have deGrom. I'll have Judge. And I'll probably have Cole. That's probably the top 5 athletes in New York. Probably the top 5 athletes in New York. Cespedes Cespedes can't stay healthy though. That's the problem. He can't stay healthy. I guess you follow. Yes, I do follow Schefter on the Twitters. Jamal Adams is up there too. Roberto, that's a good one. He's top 10 for sure. He's up there. Jamal Adams up there. Jamal Adams is definitely up there. He might be top 5. He's up there. How many games do the Giants have to? I think 6. I think 6, and Gettleman's got a good opportunity to stay. I think 6 is the number for Gettleman. I think if they have 5, he might be without a job. I think 6 is the magic number where it becomes, does he stay or does he go? He didn't see it. Did I miss something? What did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? What backup quarterbacks are making... What backup quarterbacks are making... What's up, Sinor? Thanks for popping in the stream. Bradley, have a great night. What backup quarterbacks are... I think the guy from the Cowboys that they brought in is going to make it. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He's going to make it. And I think Colt's going to make it. I think they're going to take both those guys because of his familiarity with the playbook. That's my prediction. Who had the worst pick in the set? God, I'd have to look at the draft. I don't remember the entire second round. I'd have to look at the draft. I could tell you who might have had the best pick. New York Giants. McKinney's up there. Might have been the best pick in the entire second round. Sonora wrote, dude. Okay. Good evening, my fellow American. Golden Tate, Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton. Who do you start, bench, and cut? You got to keep... Out of those 3, you got to keep Slayton. He's got the highest upside. He doesn't have an injury history, and he's young. So you keep Slayton. I think that you bench Shepard just because he's younger. Right? Tate's on the back 9 of his career, even though Shepard's got an injury history. I think it's Slayton, Shepard, Tate. Tate's like 32 years old. Favorite Jordans ever? I'm not a big sneaker guy. Do you think Bradbury could lock down Amari Cooper? I mean, if you look at Bradbury last year, the one thing everybody talks about, look what he did against those wide receivers in the NFC South. He went up against some of the best wide receivers in the sport. When you think about the best wide receivers in the NFC, in the league, Michael Thomas might be the best. Okay, he played him twice. The Bucks have 2 really good wide receivers. So he played some of the best wide receivers in the sport. So, and I don't think any of them and obviously Julio Jones, and I don't think any of them exceeded 80 yards. So yes, I don't know if he could shut him down, but I think he could do a good job against Amari Cooper. Absolutely, yes. I worry about the other weapons. They got a lot of weapons, the Dallas Cowboys. JB, man, thanks so much for love. I appreciate it. What's up, Vance Bill? Thanks for popping in the stream. Why not let Parrott play and get experience year one? I mean, you could definitely say that, JB, but here's the thing. I think the Giants, I think most people view him as a project. And I think you also have to take into account, here's what I'm going to say about that, JB12. I don't want the offensive line to be an experiment this year. You know, and I recognize that we have young players and we want them to develop, but I'm not messing around with the offensive line. I've also got a young quarterback that I need to keep healthy. And if Parrott's not ready yet, I'm not just throwing him in there to get experience. That's a position where I want production. I want to make sure Daniel Jones, who's learning a new system, and a system where you need extra time to throw the ball down the field, I got to make sure I got the best guy out there for Daniel Jones to protect him. And if Parrott's not that guy yet, which most people probably don't think he is yet, he's got a really high upside, but he's a project. He played at UConn and, was not playing the best competition. And the book on him, he's got things he needs to work on. So I think he's going to be the right tackle, and maybe you'll see him the last 4 or 5 games, but I don't think that's a position that you mess with early on. You want to make sure you got your best guy out there day one for Daniel Jones, whether that's Solder or whether that's Cam Fleming. But I don't think it'll be Parrott day one. Best unit on the defensive line. It's got to be. I mean, you look at the depth on that defensive line. They are deep. Look at that defensive line. Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, Dalvin Tomlinson. You got Austin Johnson, who I believe is a former first-round pick, I think it was, or early second-round pick. They brought him in free agency. You got R.J. McIntosh and B.J. Hill. It's got to be the defensive line. The defensive line is loaded with depth. D-line. That's our strongest unit in terms of depth. Engram stays healthy 16 games. Is he a top 4 tight end? Top 5, yeah, top 4, top 5 if he stays healthy. In terms of being a receiver, yes. Can't block, but in terms of being a receiver, yes. Thoughts on Colin Kaepernick and what he said about that? I loved it. Felt like it was me talking. It felt like it was a Giants fan talking. It was nice to hear somebody in the media who's not biased, he's not a Giants fan, talk about the things that we basically say when we talk about Daniel Jones. I loved it. Yeah, he's early second round. But the link there, sports expert, with Austin Johnson, he played for Coach Chaos at Penn State. So he's a depth guy, but he's a guy that has some ability. And obviously the Giants like him. They brought him in. He has a connection to Chaos. JB12, man, thanks so much for love. I appreciate it. He says, would you trade Barkley for 2 first-round picks? Are they early first-round picks or are they late first-round picks? I don't want to trade Barkley. I love Barkley. But if you're telling me I'm going to get 2 top 7 or 8 picks, yes. But that's almost every player in the league I'd be willing to do that. But I don't think it would happen. Your top 5 quarterbacks right now. Top 5 quarterbacks right now, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, got to be there. The MVP this year. Russell Wilson, got to be there. Those 3 got to be there. And after that, it gets dicey. Then you go with a couple of guys there. A lot of people probably still have Drew Brees. I don't know if I got him there. I still have Rodgers. I like Rodgers. Call me biased. I still got him in my top 5. I respect Aaron Rodgers. I will go. The 3 are definitive. It's Mahomes. It's Jackson. It's Wilson. I'd probably have Wilson 2, Jackson 3. Then I go Aaron Rodgers. And who am I forgetting here? Deshaun Watson. I probably have Watson 5. I know I'm probably forgetting somebody. I think I'd have Watson 5. I think I'd have Breeze 6. I think that would be my top 5. Have you done your scouting for next year's draft? No. I've looked at some highlights. I have not looked extensively into next year's draft at all. I'm going to do that earlier this year. Like I said earlier in the stream, I said I'm going to probably start getting some draft content up around week 8. Start, sprinkling it in with the regular season stuff. No, sports influencer. I did not forget Cam Newton. I did not forget Cam Newton. Carson Wentz is probably like 8 or 9, 7 or 8 or 9. I know Eagles fans are probably hoping I said him in the top 5. He's like 7 or 8, maybe 9. Brady's probably 8, 7, 8. He's right there with Wentz. Lamar Jackson is a clone to Kettleman. We won't even be talking about Lamar. Maybe. Yeah. Here's what I'll say about Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson right now is special. But I am not convinced that Lamar Jackson is going to hold up long term. Because the guy rushed for 1,400 yards last year. Nobody could deny that had a ton to do with his success. So he's going to continue to take hits if he continues to play that way. And can he hold up? Quarterbacks are not meant to take hits like that on a consistent basis year in and year out. He's an incredible talent. But I don't know if he's going to last at a high level until 30 years old. I don't know. I hope he does. He's an exciting player. He's great for the game. But we'll see. But right now, he's in the top 5. Underrated coach on the Giants. I get this one a lot too. If you guys watch my live streams, I love Jerry Shaplinski. I'm a huge Jerry Shaplinski guy. I think he's our future offensive coordinator, and I think he's a future head coach. Not necessarily for the Giants, but everything you hear about Shaplinski, he's a smart guy. He's a brilliant guy. The players love him, and I think he was a great guy for the Giants to bring in to be the quarterback coach. I'm on the Shaplinski train. All aboard, baby. He's my underrated coach. What's going on, Gucci Moochie? Thanks for popping in the stream. What's going on, Nicholas? Thank you for being here. I almost had a midi heart attack from the comment. Thanks, whoever that was. Dak over Rodgers. Get out of here. Get out of here with that. Lamar will end up with, I hope not. RG3 ended up like RG3 because he got hurt. I hope not. RG3 was unbelievable that first year. He was unbelievable. But I hope not. Should the NFL do a draft lottery similar to the NBA to prevent tanking? I don't worry so much about tanking in the NFL. I really don't. I think it's a much bigger problem in the NBA because one player in the NBA makes such a difference. It really does. So you need the lottery in the NBA because you look at the draft from last year, you would have had 12 teams trying to lose to get Zion Williamson if you didn't have a draft lottery. So you need the draft lottery in the NBA. But in the NFL, I don't think one player, and of course, once in a blue moon, but even when there's that can't miss quarterback, half the times you miss. So I just don't think it's nearly as necessary in the NFL as it is in the NBA. Maybe you'll have a team or two that goes into the year tanking in the NFL, but it's not nearly as common as the NBA. What's going on, Danilo? RG3 was never RG3 was good. His rookie year, West Coast, RG3 was good his rookie year. RG3 was in the MVP conversation his rookie year. He was great his rookie year. Would you be in favor of the G-Men giving AB a shot? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not realistic. And no, to be honest with you, no. No. I don't want divas. The guy is a head case. He's crazy. He is like legitimately crazy. No, I don't want Antonio Brown anywhere near a New York Giants uniform. If you don't like trading them, but who would you trade a first round pick for? I mean, the thing is, there's not many guys on this roster that would command a first round pick that we would realistically trade. They're all on rookie deals. Saquon Barkley might be one of the only guys on this roster that would get you a first round pick because some of the other guys make a lot of money. So there's not really a lot of guys on this team, in my opinion, that would get you a first round pick. There really isn't. AB because they're underdeveloped, they're young, or they make a lot of money. A guy like Bradbury makes a lot of money. Oh, Danny, man, thanks so much for the love, man. Who's your sleeper team in the AFC and the NFC? Did Eli make OBJ? No. OBJ. I'm the biggest Eli fan in the world. OBJ was great. OBJ was special. And I'm not a big OBJ fan. I never hide that. I was not upset when we traded him, but no, OBJ was special. Who's your sleeper team in the AFC and the NFC? Danny, thank you so much for the love. My sleeper team in the AFC and the NFC. I've been really changing this around. And I did a video today that I'm going to post tomorrow where I talked about the teams that are picking in the top 10 that I think could compete to make the playoffs this year, because it happens every year. And I'll give it away. I like the Detroit Lions. I like the Detroit Lions in the NFC. I really looked into them, and I look at that NFC North, and I'm not saying they're going to win a Super Bowl, but you're asking a team that a lot of people may feel is going to win 5 games. I think they're a lot better than that. Stafford went down last year. They were a much better team the first 8 games of the year. They drafted 2 players who I think are instant impact players. If we're talking deep sleepers, because anybody could say the Colts. Everybody's got the Colts. Everybody's got the Cardinals. But if we're talking deep sleepers, I like the Lions in the NFC. And in the AFC, I want to say the Raiders, but then I looked at the Raiders' schedule, and the Raiders' schedule is brutal. I looked at the Raiders. The Raiders might have a tougher schedule than the Giants. I looked at their first 8 games. I'm like, I can't pick this team as a sleeper. I didn't get a chance to look at the Broncos' schedule. I think the Broncos are a potential sleeper, but I don't like their offensive line. If you view the Patriots as a sleeper, because I think a lot of people are off the Patriots train, I will pick the Patriots. I will pick the Patriots, and I will pick the Lions as my deep sleepers. Al Bats, man, thanks so much for love, man. I appreciate it. He says, extend Gettleman 2 more years, get off his back, and I'm with you. I am completely with you. Get off his back and let him build. You have to let him continue the rebuild. I'm completely with you, Al. That's what the Giants have to do. You have to see this through. I'm completely with you on that. He's drafted well. That's what he was brought here to do. JB12 says, is our secondary the best in the NFC East? It could be. It could be. I like the Bears also. People are laughing at the Lions. I'm going to explain it tomorrow. Look at the Lions last year. Look at the Lions last year before you laugh. They started 2-0-1. They beat the Eagles in Philadelphia. They beat another good team. I can't remember. Then they played the Chiefs. They lost to them by 4 points week 4. They were very competitive the first 8 games of the season last year. Stafford went down. After Stafford went down, they went 0-8. Stafford is back. They got their quarterback back. I'm not talking about a Super Bowl. I'm talking about a team that people think are going to win 4 or 5 games that I could see winning 8, 9, or 10. They play in the NFC North, which is up for grabs. Nobody in that division is great. They've got weapons. I like the 2 players they drafted. I think they're immediate impact players. The running back that they got in the second round, and of course Okuda. I think the Lions are going to win 8 games. I think they're going to win 8 games, and I think they're going to be in the thick of it. Let's see what we got here. What team would be a great fit for Trevor? What team would be a great fit for Trevor Lawrence? Any team. I mean, that guy is special. I think he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league next year. When he gets drafted, maybe not right away, but he's going to be one of the top 5 or 6 quarterbacks in the league once he gets acclimated to the league. I think the Jaguars are going to get him. I think the Jaguars suck. I think they're going to get the first pick, and I think they're going to take Trevor Lawrence. You say the Browns. I don't view the Browns as a sleeper. I don't view the Browns as a sleeper. When people ask me sleeper to me means a team that nobody's picking. I think almost everybody thinks the Browns are going to make the playoffs. That's not a sleeper to me. I think the Browns are a playoff team. I think they're a 9-10 win team. When you say sleeper to me, that's a team that people think are going to win 5, 6 games. I don't think anybody thinks that about the Browns. So, yeah, I mean, I could say that Browns, that's a safe pick. The Browns, the Colts, those are safe picks. But in terms of deep sleepers, teams that people think are going to win 5 games, I like the Lions. I think the Lions go win 8 or 9 games. Fabian, have a great night, man. I meant to say, what players throughout the league would you trade a first-round pick for? Not players on the G-Men. Oh, I'm not trading a first-round pick for anybody. We need to continue to rebuild. We're not in a spot right now to be trading away draft picks. We're not a win-now team yet. We got to keep drafting, bringing in players on cost-effective contracts. I'm not trading a first-round pick for anybody. We need that pick. Maybe in a year or 2 when we're ready to really take that big step. But right now, I'm not trading. I'm not trading my picks. If anything, I'm trying to get picks. Gotta go, my man. Keep up the content. You got it, Jesse, man. Thanks for popping in the stream. If the Giants get the number 1 pick, you taking Lawrence, Bad Dog made a video about. No, I'm not. I mean, well, you know what? It's too. I can't answer that question right now. West Coast. I can't answer that question right now. Does Daniel Jones throw 40 interceptions and 10 touchdowns? Does Daniel Jones fumble like 18 times again and the Giants win 2 games? Well, then I might. But I don't think that's going to happen. It's not even so much where the Giants finish in terms of record. It's how Daniel Jones plays. JB, man, thanks so much for the love, man. I appreciate it. He says, you wouldn't trade a second for Ngakoue right now? He said first. Second, I'd probably trade. He said first. I'd probably trade a second for a player. And I'd probably trade a second for Yannick Ngakoue. Probably. I'd have to commit a lot of money, and we don't have a lot of money on our salary cap. But yes, I probably would. I like the Colts. I think the Colts are going to win the AFC South. I got the Colts winning the AFC South. What team would be a great fit for Patriots? You're talking about the optimum fit? The Patriots would be a great fit for Trevor Lawrence. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Patriots are going to be competitive this year, but I'll say the Patriots. What's up, Maxwell? Thanks for popping in the stream. So, Chris, you wouldn't trade a first-rounder for Of course I would trade a first-rounder for Mahomes, but I'm trying to talk of it from a realistic standpoint. We have a quarterback right now. We have a running back right now. We're not trading for a quarterback. From a realistic standpoint, we have Daniel Jones, and from a realistic standpoint, the players you mentioned are not being traded. The Chiefs are not trading Patrick Mahomes. Of course, I would trade 4 first-round draft picks for Patrick Mahomes, but for guys that are realistically going to be on the trade market, I'm not trading a first-round pick. Yeah, if we're talking fantasy land, and I could get Bosa for a first-round pick, let's go. If I get Pat Mahomes for a first-round pick, let's go. But that's not going to happen. Do you think there will be a football season? Yes, but I think that it's yes, but I think that there's a good possibility we won't have a full season, and I hope that's not the case. But I think that could be the case. MH says, "Look at that sexy." What's up, MH? Sounds like the chat is dying for Madden content. Yeah, I gotta look around for my PlayStation. It's somewhere here. When I moved here, I haven't played it since. People ask me for that all the time. Maybe I will do that, especially if we don't have an NFL season. That'll probably be something that I do to have fun every once in a while. Come on, do some Madden live streams. JB, man, thanks so much for the love, man. I appreciate it. He says, Giants' biggest position of need, wide receiver, running back, or pass rusher? I got to go pass rusher. JB, thank you for the love, man. I appreciate it. I think but all those are needs. I think we definitely... You know what? That's close. Wide receiver's 3 for me. But the system we're running, a coverage middle linebacker may actually be even more important than an edge rusher. That's close. I would definitely say the coverage middle linebacker and the edge rusher are like neck and neck, and then I'd have wide receivers 3. But center's also a big need for us as well. We don't have a center, unless one of these guys develops. Maybe Shane Lemieux develops. But I agree that those are our 3 biggest needs. But I think the coverage middle linebacker and the edge are about even, and I'd have the wide receiver at 3. Let's see what we got here. What's going on, Mr. Mini Guy? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Mahomes' best start ever to a quarterback career ever. Mahomes is phenomenal. Yeah, we need a guy that can cover the middle of the field. Haven't had it. Do you talk Spanish? Yo quiero Taco Bell. That's about it. Puedo ir al baño. ¿Cómo estás? Me llamo Cristobal. Yeah, that's about it. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo están? Así. Yo estoy bien. That's about it. Go to 11:45. We're going to go to 11:30. We're going to go to 11:30, I think. But thank you guys for being here. What's going on, real New York Giants Mafia? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Who's the starting linebackers going into week 1? Blake Martinez definitely starting for the Giants. I think Peppers is going to get some time at the linebacker position. I I definitely think Peppers will get a little bit of time, but in the base personnel, I think you'll see Martinez. If Conley's healthy, I think he'll be the other starter in the base personnel. I think Mayo and Martinez are too similar. They're both run stoppers. I think Conley at least brings a little more versatility. So I think Conley, if he's healthy, would be the other guy. Thoughts on you know what? My thought process on that all along West Coast has been better to be safe than sorry. And maybe they oversell it a little bit, but my thought process on the virus from the beginning, better to be safe than sorry. That's always been my thought process. So, yeah. Are you still going to stream the playoffs? Of course. You talking about the NBA playoffs? Yeah, I'm not going to do it every night, but I'll definitely do like 2 streams, 3 streams, especially when there's nothing else. Yes, I'll definitely doing some play-by-plays for the NBA playoffs, for sure. If and when we get NBA playoff basketball. I'm back. Couldn't go without the channel knowing you were still on. I appreciate that, Bobby, and we're gonna be on for about another 20 minutes. Every team in New York is rebuild mode except the Yankees. The Mets aren't really rebuild mode, Mikey. They're not as good as the Yankees, and I don't know enough about hockey, but I think the Mets are in a win now mode. Had Noah Syndergaard not gone down, I thought the Mets were going to be a playoff team this year. Yankees are definitely more advanced, though. Outside of those 2 teams, yes, I agree. Well, the Nets aren't rebuild mode. Next year, the Nets are going to try to compete with Durant back. I would say the Nets, the Mets, and the Yankees are not in rebuild mode. The Knicks, the Giants, the Jets, they're all in rebuild mode. If you're a real NFL fan, you would know who the Pro Bowl long snapper was last year. I'm sorry, I'm not a real NFL fan. I don't know. I know it wasn't the Giants. Zach Diossi was horrible. He got replaced. So yeah, Casey Kreider was 2 years ago. I only know that because he's a Giant now, and he made the Pro Bowl 2 years ago as a long snapper. Have you seen the loaded free agent? I have not. I have not seen the loaded free agency running back class, but at the end of the day, I don't want to be spending a lot of money on the running back. I think we got too many pressing needs. But if you can find one for $2-3 million, like the Jets did with Gore, someone like that, yeah, sure, go ahead. Isn't that his name's Kreider? Isn't it? Kreider. Maybe I'm wrong. The long snapper the Giants brought in, Kreider. Maybe I'm wrong. JB, man, thank you so much for the love, man. Better run 07 or 11. Oh, man. I got to go 07. But 11 was Eli's run. Like, that was the year that Eli cemented himself as a Hall of Fame quarterback. But 07, when you factor in you beat the 18-0 Patriots, you factor in that you went into Lambeau Field in negative 30-degree weather, you factor in that you made Terrell Owens cry like a little bitch, and you factor in that it was all done with an unexpected quarterback and the Giants hadn't done it before. You got to go with 07. Plus, it was Michael Strahan's last year. He got a ring. Not to mention, it was the year after Tiki Barber said that Eli Manning and Tom Coughlin couldn't get the job done. Got to go 07 over 11. But both incredible runs. And thank you for posting that, Dire Giants fan. I appreciate that. What's going on, Mustard Bus? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. What happens if Rivers plays first instead of Eli? That is the ultimate what if. And I see Christian Orr's in here, and he's not going to be happy. That is the ultimate what if. But I've been consistent in saying this, and it's not a slight on Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Fame quarterback. I firmly believe if Phillip Rivers was the quarterback of the New York Giants, we wouldn't have won any Super Bowls. I firmly believe that. Phillip Rivers had opportunities to beat Tom Brady with the Chargers numerous times with better teams than what the Giants had. Phillip Rivers, to me, didn't have the arm strength to play in New York in the windy conditions. He just didn't. And I don't think he was suited to handle the media as well as Eli Manning was. I think Eli Manning was the perfect fit in terms of that aspect for New York. I don't think Phillip Rivers would have been. So I honestly don't think the Giants win a Super Bowl with Phillip Rivers. It's my honest opinion. Benjamin, man, thanks so much for the love, man. I really appreciate it. He says, I was at the market, and the gal in front of me has a Saquon Barkley number 28. Did someone explain to me how in the world that happened? Probably voted off for risky from Everybody Hates Chris. maybe that is the case. It looks like she got robbed, or maybe her name is Barkley and she wanted a different number. That's weird, huh? But thank you so much for the love, Ben. Man, hope you're doing well out there. Are you Joe Judge's brother? I've been told that a few times. A couple of people have told me I look like Joe Judge. I see it a little bit. I definitely don't think we're like identical. I see it a little bit. But no, I'm not Joe Judge's brother. I wish I was Joe Judge's brother. I love Joe Judge. Love him. Let's see what we got here. JC dropping facts. Christian Orr, it's time for bed now after the Colts 12-4 talk. I think the Colts are going to win 9 or 10 games at least. I like the Colts this year. They got a strong offensive line. You see Ralph Macchio? I think people say that about Bad Dog too. All right, I'll tell you right now, the people I've always gotten. I say it all the time. The two people I get the most throughout my entire life, Nicolas Cage, I always get. And Matt Harvey. Matt Harvey and Nicolas Cage. I was actually asked to autograph a baseball by a child when I was wearing my Met stuff because he thought I was Matt Harvey. He put the ball in front of my face and asked me to sign the ball and put Matt Harvey on the ball. I didn't do it. I'm not a jerk. I told him I'm not Matt Harvey. But those are the two people I get the most, Matt Harvey and Nicolas Cage. Let's see, we got it. I've gotten Steve Carell also. Danilo. If the Knicks could get Melo back, would you get him for a cheap price? I mean, that would be a cool story. That would be a cool story if we could get Carmelo Anthony back to end his career. I just don't think he fits the team. If I'm Carmelo Anthony, I'm trying to win a championship. The guy's old. I just don't see the fit. But I mean, I guess it would be a cool story. But he's kind of taking up a spot for a guy that you want to develop. We're kind of a rebuild team. You look exactly like Matt Harvey. Yeah, Johnny, I get that. I get that a lot. I've gotten Matt Harvey a lot. Especially when I do Met games, like when I do the play-by-play on here, a lot of people come in and say, "Oh, you look just like Matt Harvey." Or when I go to Met games, because I'm wearing like the hat and everything. Let's see what we got here. JP, man, thank you so much for the love, man. I really appreciate it. He said, next time I'm fishing upstate New York, you're coming. I'm there. You let me know, Aiden. I'm there. If Plax didn't shoot himself, do we repeat? I'm a huge Mets fan. I'm with you, Maxwell. If Plax doesn't shoot himself, do we repeat? Yes. And I might even go as far to say that we win 3 in a row. I can't say that, but that changed that Giants team. That Giants team was unbelievable that year. One of the best teams I've ever seen. Not just Giants, in general. They were unbelievable before Burris shot himself. If Burris doesn't shoot himself, we go back-to-back, and we're favorites in 2009 before the year starts. That changed Eli Manning's entire career. I said it in the video I did, the what-if video. That's what I think about when I think about that. I don't even think about the what-if, would we have won another Super Bowl. I think about how it affected individuals' careers. If he doesn't shoot himself, Sean O'Hara might be a Hall of Famer. Plaxico Burress might be a Hall of Famer. They have an extra Super Bowl under their belt. Eli Manning might be considered a top 10 quarterback who ever played. The guy might have 3 Super Bowl MVPs. So that changed everything. So it sucks, but I get Chris Bosh all the time. I get Jackie Chan and Chris Bosh. I get a lot. Kush, Jackie Chan, Chris Bosh, and the guy Kumar. I get Kumar a lot from Harold and Kumar. I get him a lot too. Yes, we definitely need a tall wide receiver. What do I think of Pete? I don't know enough about him, John. Let's see what we got here. What's going on, Gangrene? Go check out Gangrene David, by the way. He's been putting a lot of work over there. Big Jets fan, Jets YouTuber. Yeah, don't even get me started on Burris, man. So are we having a season this year, bro? I hope You know, man, Paul, at this point, man, I'm just going in. Right now, I'm just operating and talking as if we're going to because there's nothing else I could do. I'm just going to hope that we do. And I think as fans, that's what we should do until told otherwise. You know, right now, the NFL's telling us they're going to have a season. Am I going to lie to you and tell you that I definitely know there's going to be one? No. I mean, there's a serious virus going on right now. So hopefully we do. And, yeah. And if we don't, well, I'm going to be doing a lot of hanging out with you guys. But I'm hoping that we do. And I think in the end we will. I don't know if it'll be a full season, though. They've already had talks of expanding the practice squad. I read that, too. Right now, the practice squad consists of 10 players. I think they were going to expand it to 12 players next year, if I'm not mistaken. They've had talks of expanding it this year now from 10 to 16 in anticipation for the virus. So they're doing some things that makes you think that they're going to try to play. What's up, Card Coach, man? Hope you're doing well in Vegas, man. Yeah, either way, we're hanging out, man. What rookie are you excited to watch? Really, all of them. I mean, the three rookies that are going to have the biggest impact this year are Andrew Thomas, Darnay Holmes, and Xavier McKinney. I don't think Matt Parrott plays a lot. Lemieux, maybe at the center position. But those three are going to have the biggest impact. I'm also excited for Carter Coughlin, if he could carve out a role. But I'd probably say McKinney, but I'm really excited for that offensive line and Thomas, too. And I love the Holmes. Those three are going to have the biggest impact this year, though. JB, man, thanks so much for the love, man. I really appreciate it. He says, Alonzo Russell dominates in our camp every... Yeah. You want to talk about a fan favorite? Alonzo Russell. He got cut like twice, I think, from the Giants last year. And, yeah, that sucked, man. Everybody was rooting for Alonzo Russell. He caught the touchdown in preseason, and then they ended up cutting him. So, yeah, I don't even know where he is right now. Is he with the Giants? I don't think he is. But that was a guy that he was a fan favorite last year, Alonzo Russell. Derek Brown, you that's right. Must a big Panthers fan. That was the last guy I wanted. I'm glad that you guys ended up getting him. Not because I dislike Derek Brown. I think Derek Brown's a really good player. I think he's going to do well for you guys. But that's the one spot where we have everything. We've got that. We've got the D tackle. We've got the D line. So if they would have taken Derek Brown, I would have exploded. But I think he'll be a good player for you guys. Benjamin, man, thanks so much for the love, man. I appreciate it. He says, Chris, have you seen Superbad? Of course. Superbad's great. Superbad's one of my favorite movies, man. McLovin, yes. And Earl says, watch out. Yeah, Kyle. Everybody's talking about Kyle Murphy. Everybody's talking about Kyle Murphy, the undrafted offensive lineman. Maybe he does make it. But when you look at this offensive lineman, the offensive line, Earl, if they go with 9, which is what they went with last year, I don't know if he's going to make the team. I mean, because look at their offensive line right now. Obviously, Andrew Thomas is making the team. Nate Solder's making the team. Both guards are making the team. Hernandez and Zeitler. I think we could all agree that Pulley's probably going to make the team, or Halapio, one or the other, an experienced center, one of them at least. Lemieux's making the team, that's 6. Gates is making the team, that's 7. Cam Fleming, they're paying $4 million a year. He better make the team, that's 8. And Matt Parrott is 9. So maybe he's on the practice squad, but I don't think he'll make the unless there's an injury, which there very well could be. I don't think he'll make the roster. Gangrene David, man, thanks so much for love, man. I really appreciate it. He says, here's a little thank you for all your help, man. Are you kidding me, man? Thank you so much for love, man. Keep doing what you're doing. And if you ever, need somebody to talk to about video ideas, I'm always here. Yeah, Gangrene David's a really good guy. I got to meet him at the Jet-Giant game. And, yeah, looking forward to popping on your channel during the season this year if we have one. Thanks for love, man. I appreciate it. JC, man, thanks so much for love, man. I really appreciate it. Practice squad, a trade could be. Yeah, I think he'll be a practice squad to start the year. But maybe he does get that opportunity if they make a trade or if somebody goes down. Maybe he does get called up. JC, man, thanks so much for love, man. I appreciate it. He says, definition of franchise quarterback. How many franchise quarterbacks on your list being able to win 2 minutes left in the postseason against the top D is a non-negotiable to me? Listen, JC, nobody did that better than Eli Manning. And yes, I say that all the time. You don't need a Pat Mahomes at quarterback. You don't need a Drew Brees. You don't need this unbelievable stat stuffer. You need a guy. The conventional way to build a football team, in my opinion at least, is to build the trenches, like the Giants are trying to do, build up the offensive line, build the defense, the pass rush, the coverage, all that, and get a foundation for your quarterback. And you want a quarterback, like you said, when the game is on the line, to make the plays that need to be made. I don't need a guy for throwing for 400 yards. I want to beat teams in the trenches, and I want my quarterback to make the plays that need to be made. 3rd and 8, I need a first down. Go and get it. 2 minutes left in the game. I need a drive to go and get a game-winning field goal. Go and get it. Make the throws when we really need them. That's what Eli Manning did. That's what wins Super Bowls. And hopefully the New York Giants build up the trenches. They get this defense going, and they get them. And hopefully Daniel Jones is that guy. I wish we had a bruising. Yeah, I wish we had a bruising running back also. We could definitely use one. Fabian, that's what the Giants are. You look at the 07 and 11 Super Bowls. How many Hall of Famers were on both those Super Bowl teams? Strahan was on one, but how many Hall of Famers were on both? The answer is one. Eli Manning. That's it. Nobody else is going to the Hall of Fame that was on both those Super Bowl teams. The New York Giants were a lunch pail team. They were a team of good players that together were great. Kind of like that offensive line. That offensive line didn't have any unbelievable players, but together as a unit, they were great. That's always been the Giants. You know, they've had a couple of stars, but that's always been the Giants. Who is the better wide receiver all time for the Giants? My opinion, Victor Cruz. You're the best wide receiver of all. Victor Cruz has the greatest year for a wide receiver in New York Giants history, but in my opinion, it was too short-lived because of injuries. He can't be the greatest just because he got hurt. You know, it's not a slight on him, but that year he was unbelievable. His best year ever by any Giant wide receiver. But I got to go Amani Toomer. He's got a Super Bowl ring. He was a leader. He owns all the records. Longevity. In terms of the most talented, it's Odell Beckham. But in terms of the greatest Giant, it's Amani Toomer, I think. Name the top 5 wide receivers in the NFC East. McLaurin's in there. McLaurin, I'm not saying he's number 1, but McLaurin's in there. Cooper's in there. We'll see with CeeDee Lamb. He's a rookie. Why is the name escape me? The other guy they got over there that had over 1,000 yards last year. Why is the name escaping me? I just said his name earlier. He's probably in there. The Eagles have Gallup. Yeah, Gallup. There you go, BB13. Gallup. The Eagles, I think I'd have both Gallup and Cooper in the top 5. I'd have McLaurin in the top 5. I'm not talking tight ends. If you talk tight ends, then Ertz enters the discussion. Engram enters the discussion. But we're talking strictly wide receivers. I'm not putting CeeDee Lamb in there yet. He's a rookie. He hasn't done anything. I'll put Gallup in there. I'll put Cooper in there. I'll put McLaurin in there. Again, I'm not putting Rager in there. He's a rookie. He hasn't done anything. I don't love Alshon Jeffrey. Deshaun Jackson's an injury waiting to happen. I'm putting Slayton in there, and I might put Tate in there. Or Shepard. I might. Now, do I think CeeDee Lamb is going to surpass Tate and Shepard? Yeah. But he hasn't yet. So, going in, I think Slayton's in there. I think Slayton's in the top 5. And I think Tate might be as well, or Shepard. I think they're in the back end. 4, 5, 6 in that area. Do you think we're moving on from Rosas? Yes, I do. Kyle, man, thanks so much for the love, man. I appreciate it. He says, I'm always curious what Hakeem Nicks could have been. Hakeem Nicks. The one thing I think about with Hakeem Nicks, Slayton for sure coming from a Cal. Yeah, Slayton's good. Slayton's going to be very good. Eric. And Hakeem Nicks, the one thing that I always think about with Hakeem Nicks, his hand, he had the biggest hands I've ever seen. He wore 5X gloves, and the guy, he's another guy that year. He was unbelievable. The catch against the Packers in the play, he was just great. That entire playoff run, I loved Hakeem Nicks. If Hakeem Nicks could have stayed healthy, he probably would have been the greatest Giant receiver ever had he played as long as Toomer did. He was great. You know, it was short-lived because of injuries, but Yeah, Hakeem Nicks was phenomenal for the Giants. That receiving core that year, 2011, best receiving core we've ever had. Best receiving core we've ever had. Victor Cruz had the greatest year in New York Giants history for a wide receiver. Hakeem Nicks was probably one of the top 7 or 8 single seasons ever for a New York Giant wide receiver. And Mario Manningham was a damn good wide receiver for number 3 that year. Of course, he made the famous catch. It's the greatest wide receiving core ever in New York Giants history that year. Brandon, man, thanks so much for love, man. I really appreciate it. He says, which head coach in the NFL is on the hot seat more than any other? I'd say Matt Patricia with the Lions. Huge fan of your channel. Stand up, bear down. Brandon Allen, thanks so much for love. That's a great question, and I was actually thinking about doing a video on that. I'm going to start branching out. I'm definitely still a Giants channel. I definitely still report exclusively on the Giants. But there's not a lot going on right now. And whenever there's anything to talk about with the Giants, I'm going to talk about it. But I have been thinking about doing topics like that. The top 5 sleepers this year, the top 5 teams that are being overrated, the top 5 head coaches on the hot seat. And that was one of the video ideas I had. And I completely agree with you. Patricia is definitely in the top 5. He's probably number 1. When he overtook the Lions, they were 6-10 or 7-9. They weren't like this abysmal team. And since he's gotten there, it's been horrible. I think the only reason he kept his job with as bad as they did was because Stafford got hurt. He had that excuse. But I definitely think he's on the hot seat. I think Nagy's on the hot seat. I think that Gaze is on the hot seat. Let's see. This is just off the top of my head. I think Lynn could be on the hot seat with the Chargers. They were very disappointing last year. I'm sure there's others that I'm forgetting about. But, yeah, those are some of the names. But thanks so much for love, man. I appreciate it. JB12, any interest in Justin Britt? Any interest in Justin Britt? Yes, but again, we're not going to get him. We don't have the money. And he's a Pro Bowler, I think, if I remember correctly. We're not going to get him. We're just not. What would you grade our draft this year? What would I grade our draft this year? I'd give it A-. I think the Giants had a great draft. And that's not being biased. If you look at almost any expert that's not a Giants fan, they said the Giants had a very good draft. Giants had a great draft the year before, too. That's why I'm excited about the future of this team. 2018, I would have given the... Look back at the Giants draft of 2018. How can you pick apart that draft? Daniel Jones, we still got to have a wait-and-see approach, but I think we all agree he could be a franchise quarterback, and I don't care where you pick a quarterback, whether it's first overall, whether it's, Mr. Irrelevant, it's a good pick if you find a franchise quarterback. So, right now, Daniel Jones looks like a good pick. Dexter Lawrence, maybe you could argue you would have liked Montez Sweat, maybe you could argue you would have liked the tackle, but Dexter Lawrence is a good player. DeAndre Baker, you could argue. You traded up, and right now that looks bad. Okay? Julian Love in the 4th round? O'Shane Ximines late 3rd round? Darius Slayton in the 5th round? Ryan Conley in the 5th round? So, 2018, he had a great draft. And then this year, we'll wait till they play. But I think he had another great draft. Last 2 years, I think Gettleman's done a great job in the draft. What's going on, Viz? Thanks for popping in the stream. I appreciate that. I'm going to be on Bad Dogs tomorrow, Eric. So go and swing on by to Bad Dogs tomorrow. I'm going to be on his channel tomorrow. Talking Giants. I don't care what stats DJ or Bark stack as long as they get... I'm with you, Fabian. I don't care about stats. I do those videos because I know people are interested in that, but I care about one stat. I care about wins. I don't care if Daniel Jones throws for 2,500 yards. I want to get W's. I'm with you on that. Rank these running backs for the New York Giants. Bradshaw, Barkley, Barber, Jacobs, and Wilson. Well, Wilson's got to be at the bottom. It's not his fault, but he never got the flourish. He got hurt. So Wilson's at the bottom. Barkley's at the top, even though I think Barber. Did I say Barkley? Barber's at the top, even though I think Barkley, if he stays healthy, is going to surpass him. I'd go Barber 1. I'd go Barkley 2. I love Bradshaw and Jacobs, and they won Super Bowls. But Barkley's just better. Those guys ran behind the best offensive line the sport had to offer. And they were both great. Love them. but I got to go Barkley 2. I'd go Barber 1 right now, Barkley 2. I would go Jacobs and Bradshaw, you're splitting hairs. They're completely different types of running backs. They were both really good. I personally like Jacobs more, but I could definitely see somebody that argues Bradshaw. Bradshaw was more versatile. He's a better pass catcher, more of a big play threat. Jacobs was more of that grinded out running back. I think I'd go Barber, Barkley, Jacobs, Bradshaw, and Wilson. Wilson barely played. Who is the worst coach, Shermer or McAdoo? I mean, McAdoo made the playoffs, so I guess I got to go Shermer. They both sucked, though. McAdoo was given a golden opportunity when they spent all that money in free agency. He wasn't a good coach. Couldn't control the locker room. Bradshaw, I loved Brad. Bradshaw was great, man. Trade Barkley for 2 first-rounders. Yeah, somebody asked me that earlier. I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's because I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. And maybe it's just because I love Saquon Barkley. And I think a lot of Giants fans do. And I get the argument that people didn't want to draft a running back with the 2nd overall pick. Especially because we weren't a win-now team yet. But I don't know why so many Giants fans have this fascination with trading Saquon Barkley. I think that's the type of player you want. I mean, he's a leader. He's a great football player. And he's the type of guy that he's a leader. He's the guy that you want. He's a guy that the team is gonna, he's gonna be one of the guys that's gonna lead this team, both on and off the field. So I love Saquon Barkley. I have no intentions of wanting to trade him ever. If you're gonna talk about possible trades, any player's tradable for the right price. If you're gonna give me 2 top 10 picks, I'd trade almost any player in the league that's not a quarterback. So, but it's not going to happen. Barkley's going to be a Giant, in my opinion. I don't see it. Beckham was traded because of what Beckham did off the field. He wasn't, we know why Beckham was traded. Barkley's not that guy. I don't see the Giants trading Barkley. David, man, thanks so much for love, man. I appreciate it. He says, weird offseason. Some players get injured, some hold out, and ours get arrested. When will the Eagles be getting Jamal Adams? Hope all is well. Yes, we've had 2 arrests. We've had issues this offseason. As far as the Eagles ain't getting Jamal Adams. I hope. You know what? Eagles fans probably think that they're getting Jamal Adams. They're getting everybody. But how in the world could they get Jamal Adams? The Eagles have negative $51 million in cap space next year. You heard that right. The cap space projected is around $200 million. They have $251 million dedicated to next year's cap. How in the world could they add another player? I know how he's some magician. He's some miracle worker. How could they do that? It's not happening. It can't. It can't happen. Can't happen. If you're forced to take AB or OBJ, I'd take OBJ over AB. AB belongs in a straitjacket. JB, man, thanks so much for love, man. I appreciate it. He says, which was better, Eli's throw to Manningham or the... We're going to go to overtime then. It's 11:38, but I'm having fun with you guys. I haven't done one of these in a while where I just talked to you guys. Oh, wow. JB, great question. Now, do you mean... Okay. Okay, I don't know if you're talking about Tyree's catch or you're talking about the catch by Manningham or the... If you're talking about the Manningham play, it's the throw. It's the throw. Okay, let's put this in perspective. There's like 3:30 left on the clock, whatever was left on the clock. Super Bowl, you're down 3 points. How many quarterbacks even make that throw? How many quarterbacks even attempt that throw the first play of the drive in the Super Bowl? I would be willing to say that based on circumstances, that throw is the greatest throw in the history of the NFL. When you factor in it's the Super Bowl, it's the game-winning drive, it's the last drive of the game, you can't get a bigger situation. He makes a pinpoint throw on the first play of the drive. He beats double coverage. 35, 40 yards down the field. First play. He puts it right where it needs to be. Manningham had no choice but to catch the ball. It was basically a handoff. It's the greatest throw in the history of the NFL. It's the throw. Who leads the Giants in interceptions this year? I think it's Peppers. I think it could be Peppers. I think it could also be McKinney. I think either one of those safeties definitely could. Bradbury's a possibility. That's so tough to answer. It could be a linebacker for all we know. I think Ogletree led the team, if not last year, the year before. That's so tough to predict. But if I'm going to pick one, I'll go with Peppers. But it could be anybody. I hope it's Baker. I hope Baker takes a big step forward this year. The throw is better than the catch. The throw is better than the catch. Yeah. Danny, man, thanks so much for that, man. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I see Mike say, stop it, stop it, stop it. Mike, I want you to find a better throw. You got to take into account the circumstance in the game. You're talking about the biggest stage, the Super Bowl. Game-winning drive, game on the line. Find me a better throw. Maybe you'll find one. There's not many. There's not many. Tap in, bro, Gabe says, would you survive a Giants practice? No. No, John. I would... No. I would not. I'd have to get in much better shape. I'd have to lose about 25 pounds and put on a ton of muscle to survive a New York Giants practice. No. And even then, I'd get killed. I mean, you're talking about going up against guys like Dalvin Tomlinson. I would die. They'd have my funeral the next day. Who's kicking our damn field goal? You know what? I'm leaning Gostkowski right now. Let's see what we got here. After Danny's rookie season, would you rather have him or Dwayne or Kyler Murray? Josh Allen, I think you mean when you say Josh. Too early to tell. But I'm happy. Let's put it this way. I'm happy with Daniel Jones. And I'm sure Cardinals fans are happy with Kyler Murray. And I'm sure Buffalo Bills fans are probably happy with Josh Allen. But I'm happy with Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones is going to be a guy. I think he's going to be the quarterback here when we're good. So I'm happy with him. But I think it's too early for me to say definitively who I'd rather have. I got to see more. I've only seen 12 starts of Jones. I don't get to see Kyler Murray a lot. I see the stats. But I like Jones. I'm a big fan of Jones. Jones proved me wrong. I wasn't happy on draft night. Everybody knows that. I like Jones. I think he's going to be a really good quarterback. He's got the work ethic. I think he handles the media perfectly, much like Eli Manning did. I'm a big fan. I think he's going to be a really good quarterback. That's all that matters to me. I said it earlier. I don't need Pat Mahomes. I don't need the best quarterback in the league. I don't need a top 5 quarterback. I need a guy that's going to get it done when he needs to. And a guy that's going to handle the media well in New York. That's a big thing. Not everybody's built for New York. We know that as fans. In every sport. Baseball, basketball, football. Not every player is built for New York. A lot of people fold under the pressure. I don't think Daniel Jones is that guy. Al, man, thanks so much for that, man. I really appreciate it. He says, 10 tries. Do you think you could tackle Saquon's once? Al, 1,000 tries. I don't think I could tackle Saquon's once. 1,000,000 tries. I don't think I could tackle. Unless I could trip him. I'd get a flag. But if I'm allowed to trip him, maybe once out of 100 tries, I could get him down to the ground. But even then, he would just break my leg. He would just break my leg. It's like a Mack truck. I'm not tackling. I wouldn't even try. That guy's built like an animal. That guy is the most fit player in the NFL. What's going on, BK? Thanks for popping in. We need Eli. Yeah, we do. Stephen A. said he'd rather have Daniel Jones over Kirk Cousins, James said. I'd probably rather have at this stage in their career, I would roll the dice with Daniel Jones. Kirk Cousins is, 31 years old right now? He's making a ton of money. And I think Kirk Cousins is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league, by the way. I think he underrated. Did I say overrated? If I said overrated, I meant underrated. I think he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league. I think he's a good quarterback. But when you factor in his age, I'm rolling the dice with Jones. Jones is 22 years old. He's on a rookie contract. And he's got a higher ceiling. We know what Kirk Cousins is. Kirk Cousins is a top 9, 10, 11, 12 quarterback. He's in that range. Jones could end up like that. He definitely could. Could end up better. And he's on a rookie deal. I'd roll the dice with Daniel Jones. JB, man, thanks so much for love, man. I appreciate it. He says, does Jones need to throw away more or tuck and run? Yes. I think he needs to get smarter with the football. I think he needs to learn when to take a sack. And I think he needs to, I think he needs, as crazy as this sounds, and as much as we like his aggressiveness, I like that. I like that in a quarterback. Some people don't. Some people don't like the Brett Favres and the Eli Mannings of the world. I like that. Because at the end of the day, those are the types of quarterbacks that will win you games. There's some quarterbacks who won't lose you games, and there's some quarterbacks who will win you games. And quarterbacks that are willing to take that shot, yeah, they're going to lose you games from time to time. But they're also going to win you games that a quarterback like Alex Smith can't win you. And I like quarterbacks that can take shots. I don't get upset when guys throw interceptions sometimes. Sometimes you got to take shots. Now, of course, when Eli Manning throws with his left hand, yeah, I'm throwing stuff at my TV. But one thing that I think Daniel Jones needs to work on this year a little bit, I think he needs to check it down a little bit more. I think sometimes he could have thrown a lot more interceptions last year. Sometimes he tries too much to fit the ball into a tight window. Now, his wide receivers don't create a lot of separation. I think he needs to involve Saquon Barkley a little bit more in the passing game, but I do like his aggressive nature. I like his confidence. I did not think... You want to ask me one thing that surprised me most about Daniel Jones in his rookie year, it was that. It was that. It was his confidence. He wasn't scared to make any throws. I thought he'd be much more reserved. I thought he'd be much more of an Alex Smith type quarterback, especially in his rookie year. He's still getting his feet wet. He went out there. He said, I'm slinging the rock. That impressed me more so than anything else, regardless of stats. His confidence. And I think that's important. What's up, Dunphy? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. And Benjamin says, I'm calling it 24-hour stream. No, that's not happening, Benjamin. Thank you so much for the love, man. I really appreciate it. Midnight's as late as we're going to go. I got to get some sleep, but I'll go to midnight. I do a little overtime tonight. Benjamin, thank you so much for the love, though. And JB, man, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate that, man. Did Dire Giants fan say he's leaving? If he did, I'm sorry I missed it. Dire Giants fan, have a great night, man. Sabrina, I don't know if I said hello to you. Great subscriber of mine. She's always in my streams. I just saw her there. I've seen her a couple times. I meant to say hello. Thank you for tuning in. Does Barkley run better with a fullback? I want to see it. That's why I made a video on it. When I read that article, I'm like, I couldn't believe. I definitely noticed it. You go back, you watch my streams. Bad Dog and me, we said it every week. I definitely noticed it. That the Giants didn't use the fullback a lot. Like, we would be saying, where's the fullback? Where's the fullback? Why aren't they in high formation? They only used the fullback 11% of the time last year. I don't like that. You look at the 49ers, they used it for almost 40% of the time. The Vikings use it 36% of the time. I want to see the fullback a lot more this year. I want to see a lead blocker for Saquon Barkley. I want to see holes because if Saquon Barkley could get past that first level, he can go all the way anytime. Anytime he gets through that initial line, he's a threat to go for 6. And the more help you could get him, the better. I love the philosophy. I love that I think they're going to use the fullback a lot more. I love that we're going to see 2 tight end sets. Levine Toilolo. I think the Giants they're going to be an old school team. They're going to have an old school approach. They brought in 2 guys from Stanford. Stanford runs a lot of base personnel, 2 tight end sets. Both tight ends they have, Caden Smith, Toilolo. They're from Stanford. I think the Giants are going to try to jam the ball down your throat. And yeah, I want to see a lot more fullback this year. And I think it'll help Saquon Barkley. Yeah, I think I'm happy that Judge wants to use the fullback more. What do you think the chance? I'll say 25-30% the Giants can make the playoffs. They need to stay healthy. They need to get all the breaks. They got to stay healthy and get all the breaks. Oh, no, you're still here. Okay. Daniel Jones was this good in college and the NFL with bad teams. I know. That's what's encouraging. He had the worst offensive line in the Power 5 conferences. I remember reading that stat. I think. No, I'm pretty sure. And his wide receivers had more drops. I don't know if it was more so than any other university in college or if it was in the Power 5 conferences. But he had the worst ranked wide receivers. He had the worst ranked offensive line in the sport. And the team still won a bowl game. They still went over 500. I think a lot of people wrote off Daniel Jones because he went to Duke, but I'm a big Jones guy, man. I think Jones is going to be really good. Nate, I'm doing the giveaway. I guess you didn't see it in the Discord. I didn't do the giveaway. I decided not to do it today. I'm doing it my next live stream. Anybody that's in here. I'll tell you guys now because you guys are all great subscribers. Anybody that's in here right now. And I said it earlier in the stream, but not my next stream with subscribers. I'm going to be doing that Saturday, 2 days. So hopefully I see some of you guys there for that. I absolutely loved doing that last week. That was so much fun. I'm not going to be doing it for that. It's either going to be Saturday or Sunday. But Sunday's Father's Day, so I'm probably going to do it Saturday, even though that means I'm streaming 3 days in a row because I'm with Bad Dog tomorrow night. But the next stream like this, which will probably be on a Thursday, a Wednesday, Tuesday, I don't know. I'm going to do a giveaway, but it's not going to be a giveaway on the live stream. You're going to have to watch my video, just like I did with my 25,000 subscriber. And I don't know which video it's going to be. It'll be a video the day of the stream, and you got to comment on that video. And then you'll be entered into getting a fitted hat. So I'm gonna do that this week. Rose is getting cut. Rose is getting cut, Muhammad. Why did you start your channel? I like getting questions like that, John says. To be completely honest with you, John, I started the channel to have a hobby. And I think that's why a lot of people start channels on YouTube. Obviously, now I take it much more seriously. But I never thought it would be anything more than just coming on YouTube and just having a hobby, something to do. I was trying to get my mind off things at the time. I was going through a breakup. I was just trying to do something that I thought would be fun, and I ended up loving doing it. And, obviously I take it a lot more seriously now, but I still love it just as much as I did day one. And, people ask me all the time, like, what's your advice for, like, a successful YouTube channel? I say, most important thing, you got to love what you're doing because people could tell. You got to be consistent. You got to put in work. I just did it for fun as a hobby. Nothing, no like crazy story, JB, man, thanks so much for the love, man. Beal, Ballantyne, or Haley? Haley can't cover. He's a good open field tackler. Can't cover. I'd go Beal, even though he's probably going to get hurt in training camp. Ballantyne, I don't think is ready. He displayed that last year in the slot. He got cooked every time. Even though I think he's fast, maybe he's got some upside. But I'll go Beal. I still believe that Beal has some talent, but he's got to stay healthy. What is your bold? I did a video on that bold prediction for the New York Giants, and a lot of people took that literally, like I'm saying that everything is going to happen. That's not what I meant by that video. I meant that these are things that I could see realistically happening if the Giants get some breaks and players stay healthy. I'll go over it real quick. My 4 bold predictions for the New York Giants in that video. Evan Engram, if he stays healthy and plays all 16 games, breaks the New York Giants record for most receiving yards in a season by a tight end and leads all tight ends this year in receiving yards. The record for a New York Giants tight end is 1,001 by Mark Bavaro. So that was my first bold prediction. If he plays a full 16-game slate in this Jason Garrett-led offense, he eclipses 1,000 yards, only being the second New York Giants tight end to do that. My second bold prediction was Saquon Barkley will lead all running backs in scrimmage yards and compete and come close. I don't know if he'll break it, but come close to breaking Tiki Barber's scrimmage yard record of 2,390 yards. My third bold prediction was that the New York Giants will have I'm trying to say this right. Last year, they led the league in turnover. They were worst, rather, in the league in the turnover differential and the plus-minus. They were minus 17. I said that they would have the biggest improvement in that area in the NFL. But they were the worst. So you're going from the worst maybe to the 20th worst. But I said that they would have the biggest improvement. So if they go from minus 17 to minus 3, that's a 14 turnover differential. So that was my third bold prediction. And my fourth bold prediction was that the New York Giants would be around league average in the time of possession. They've been 27th or worse each of the last 5 years. I said they'd be right around the 16 mark, right around league average. Those are my 4 bold predictions. JB, man, thanks so much for the love, man. I really appreciate it. What's going on, Andy? Thanks for popping in the stream. Tiki Barber or Saquon Barkley? In terms of talent, Saquon Barkley. But Tiki Barber was really talented. But in terms of a Giant, you still got to go Tiki. He owns every rushing record. Barber's only been here for 2 years. and he was banged up last year. So Tiki Barber's still the greatest New York Giant running back until proven otherwise. But in terms of talent, it's Barkley. McKinney and Pepper's best safety. I don't know if they're the best safety duo yet, man, but they're definitely not yet, but they could be. They could be. I think that is the position where most Giant fans are most excited about this year. Thank you so much, man, for the love, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks for answering my draft grade. Dire Giants fan. I live in Tampa. Now, where will Brady land them? Thank you so much, Danny, man. I really appreciate that. In terms of where will Brady land the Bucks? I've always been. I'm probably gonna do a video on this, even though it has nothing to do with the Giants, because I think it is one of the coolest, the best storylines this year going into the NFL. I've always wanted to see what Brady would do without Belichick. And what sucks is he's 43 years old now. I would have rather this happen when he was 35. So I am so excited to see what the Patriots do without Tom Brady, with Jarrett Stidham. And I'm so excited to see what the Bucks do with Tom Brady. I think it's one of the best storylines this year. Everybody's writing off the Patriots. And they didn't just lose Brady. They lost Jamie Collins. They lost a number of players, Van Noy. They lost players on that defense. But their strength's the secondary. And they find ways to create a pass rush. I'm not too worried about the defense. I think it's going to be interesting of what team ends up with more wins. And everybody's going to say the Bucks. But the Bucks, I think they're at least an 8 or 9 win team. I'm going to have them right around 10 wins. I think they make the playoffs. And I think they probably go out in the divisional round. But they have a lot of talent on that team. Brady, to me, I don't know how much Brady has. Brady's 43 years old. But they've got a really good supporting cast on both sides of the ball. They've got great pass rushers. They got Barrett. They got JPP. They've got, and like I said earlier, they got two great minds, both offense and defense. So the Bucks got a really good supporting cast. Brady went to a really good situation. I think they'll win 10 games. I think they'll make the playoffs. I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender. Who are some overrated teams you aren't buying into this season? Some overrated teams I'm not buying into this season. I'm going to make a video on this, but off the top of my head, without like really looking into things, the Titans. But I think that's a popular one for a lot of people. I think the Titans, I really think that Jack Conklin leaving them is going to really hurt them. They were a team that was built around running the ball with Derrick Henry. I don't think Tannehill's as good as he played last year. He had like 122 QB rating. I think they got hot. They ran it down the stretch. And I love the Titans. I love teams like that. I don't think they're going to be able to duplicate that this year. I'm not buying the Titans. In terms of other overrated teams, I'm trying to think. NFC Packers. Packers last year, I almost got it. I picked the Packers before the year started to go to the Super Bowl. And everybody had the Bears winning the division. Nobody had the Packers going to the playoffs. But the Packers were not a 13-win team last year. They overachieved. I'm not buying the Packers. I didn't like the draft that the Packers had. To me, they kind of remind me of the New York Giants in 2016, where they spent all that money in free agency to fill in all their holes because they haven't drafted well recently. They go out, they spend a boatload on Zadarius Smith. They spend a boatload on Preston Smith. They spent a boatload on Adrian Amos. They filled in all those holes on the defense. But will it come crashing down this year like it did for the Giants in 2017? Now, I don't think they're only going to win 3 games. Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. I still think they're a 7 or 8, maybe even a 9-win team, maybe even a 10-win team. The North's not great, but I'm not buying the Packers at all at being a Super Bowl contender or a team that I see really advancing in the playoffs. So I think the Packers, if you feel they're one of those teams, I view them as overrated. Yeah, those are 2 teams. I got a bunch of teams that I think are underrated. Let's see what we got here. Bears. Listen, I've been talking up the Bears for a while, but now I'm doing research on the Lions. I like them too. I think the Lions or the Bears. I think anybody could win the North. I think the Vikings could win it. I think the Bears could win it. I think the Lions could win it. And I think the Packers could win it. I think anybody could win the North. Fabian, man, have a great night, man. Jaguars will be the Dolphins. The Dolphins are an interesting team. The Dolphins are an interesting team. They are. They could surprise people. They spent a lot in free agency. It'll come down to Tua. They could win 8 or 9 games. They got a really good coach. Jamal to the Niners. Jamal to the Niners is possible. I looked it up. I think Tart's their safety, their strong safety. They're a team trying to win a Super Bowl. Obviously, they went last year. That's one of their weaknesses. Makes a lot of sense. They've shown that they're willing to make trades. This year they made a few trades this year in the draft. So, yeah, I could see it. The Cowboys make sense. The Niners make sense. I don't know the Niners cap situation, but they make sense. Let's see what we got here. BB13, man. You could laugh at me now. You're going to laugh at me tomorrow because I'm making a video talking about the Lions. Not them just specifically, but they're in the video. I'll get the laugh at the end of the year if they stay healthy. I'm not saying the Lions are going to a Super Bowl. I'm not saying the Lions are winning 10, 11 games. Lions ain't winning 4 games this year. They're not winning 3, 4, 5 games. They're going to win at least 6 games. Lions are a lot better than their record last year. And I like the draft that they had. I'm buying the Lions. As at least a 7-win team. I think they'll be competitive this year. Diehard Giants fan, man. Thanks so much for the love, man. I appreciate it. Got to get up at 5 a.m. Sorry. Diehard Giants fan, you're one of my best. You never got to apologize. I can't stay up till 1 a.m. Great stream, Yannick. Congrats on 26K. 30K is around the corner. From your lips to God's ears, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you for all your support, man. I don't got the Daniel Jones jersey on tonight that you got me, but thank you for being a great supporter of my channel. I really appreciate it. I agree, but they're still the Lions. They are still the Lions. Patricia's not a great coach. Patricia has not been a great coach. You're right about that. Maybe I'm wrong. So you got to have fun, and sometimes you got to take shots at teams that you think are deep sleepers. That's one of my deep sleepers. The Lions are one of my deep sleepers. Them and the Bears. I think one of them is going to emerge. I like both their situations. I don't like the North. I don't like the North as a division. I think it's there for the taking. JB, man, thanks so much for the love, man. I appreciate it. Add Lawrence Taylor or Mike Strahan to this team. Yeah, Lawrence Taylor. I love Michael Strahan. I never got to see Lawrence Taylor until the tail end of his career. Lawrence Taylor's the greatest Giant ever. Michael Strahan, one of the greatest Giants ever. Greatest Giant I ever got to see play for the entirety of a career. Yeah, I mean, that's what they're missing. I'll take Osi Umenyiora. I'll take Matthias Kiwanuka. We need an edge rusher. But yeah, either one of those guys would make a huge impact for the New York Giants. Patricia turned his hat. Yeah. Patricia's not been a good head coach. That I will agree with. He's been horrible. And I thought he was going to be a good head coach. I wanted the Giants to hire Patricia. I was upset when we didn't get him. But guys, it is 12:03. We went overtime. We went 33 minutes over the expected time. But I had a lot of fun tonight. I'll be live on Bad Dog's channel tomorrow. This was a lot of fun, though, man. Hopefully it helped get your guys' minds off of things. And I'll try to do these as much as I can. I love talking sports. Thank you guys for being the best supporters on YouTube. I say it all the time. You guys are incredible. You guys continue to watch my videos. You guys continue to tune in my live streams, even when there's not a lot to talk about. So, I can't say thank you enough, for everything you guys, what you guys do for my channel. I love everything. I love you guys. Love what you guys are amazing. Thank you guys. I'll see you tomorrow night. I'll definitely, I already have a video. I was gonna upload it today. I'm gonna upload it tomorrow. It's more of a broad NFL video. I'll probably wait to see if I'm gonna do a Giants video first. I probably am, like I said, on the Dalvin Tomlinson situation. And I'll see if there's any current events tomorrow. But yeah, I'll definitely have some videos up tomorrow. I'll be live on Bad Dogs, and then probably Saturday night, we're gonna have some subscribers on the channel. So, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for being a phenomenal part of the channel. You guys stay safe. You guys have a great night. And as always,